Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this, the 26th episode of Blood on the Thames, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle set in London, England. With me tonight,
Carlos playing the very hungry Moses of Clan Nosferatu.
Peter playing the very worried Benjamin of Clan Arcavian.
Katia playing the slightly hungry... No, wait, I got that the wrong way around. Rachel playing the slightly hungry Katia of Clan Tremere.
And Philip playing the tusked-up Jim Roy Woods of Clan Gangrel.
not long.
Yeah, I'm working on that. How did that go on stream?
Welcome back, Rachel. And let's, for everyone's sake, let's get a recap going for last week.
Okay, so at the start of last week's episode, Benjamin took Sabine and the constable to go and meet Edmund in the yellow storage place. But Edmund wasn't there. However, in his place were 3 heads belonging to the Sabbat Nosferatu. Stoffman, Ridget and Canker. This actually looks pretty good for Edmund, all things considered, and Sabine is not very happy about it.
Meanwhile, Katia and Moses escape through the sewers and go their separate ways.
Then Moses does some pretty sweet hacking and covers up the masquerade breach made during the car chase.
So Benjamin then takes the constable to his flat, and they are surprised to find that Edmund is there. Edmund apologises for his behaviour and then takes them to another location which has the torpid body of Alexander, who is a prominent member of the London Sabbat. And then as they leave, he turns to Benjamin and whispers, or I should say says quietly, you aren't ready for what is coming. By the time you realise what's happening, it will be too late.
After a break, Jim wakes up in a pig trough with some... That's some terrible spellings, with some terrible injuries, and in addition to a new tusk. As bad as he is, he's in better shape than Michael Chase, who is at Alicia's mercy. Together, they rip Michael to pieces and ensure that his death is very much final.
Moses and Benjamin meet, finally, and catch up. They haven't seen each other since the day of the gallery. And it's all fairly sweet, but then...
Jim gets a call from Lucy, who is being terrified by a hungry Alice. So he calls Benjamin and Moses, who rush to Susan's and Lucy's house.
After a scuffle, Moses manages to feed Alice to take her out of her hunger frenzy. However, they are still in Susan's house, and she is standing at the top of the stairs with a bat, and she has already seen far too much.
And that's where we left it.
That is where we left it. So, Katia.
That's me.
We're going to jump straight in with you. In the aftermath of a very mixed result against Michael Chase's unlife, successful though it was somewhat open, with a very questionable car chase going on, although you've left that in the capable hands of Moses to try and
Very capable.
minimize the damage. You have in the time since headed back towards the chantry in the interest of catching up with Sabine. Sabine, upon the first time that you see her, is returning to the chantry in the company of another, a torpid kindred, who looks as though he is not only disastrously scruffy looking and covered in very old flaky blood, but the paleness of his flesh suggests that he is pretty much empty inwardly as well. And Sabine is carrying him along with a gargoyle who has met her at the door and taken the form. And as she sees you, she nods and then gestures for you to follow. She doesn't appear in the best kind of moods, which is weird for Sabine, in that even if she's in a dour mood, she normally has quite a solid mask. But at the moment, she is not maintaining that mask, and she marches through the chantry towards the low-level rooms where kindred are kept. One room that in particular that you're somewhat acquainted with, and as you head down after Sabine, and this kindred is thrown into one of these cells by the gargoyle, the distracted Sabine leads you back up the stairs, back up into the other room, and then dismisses the gargoyle with a wave, and he just trudges over into the corner, rocks back, and then just sits. And then she gestures for the seat opposite.
I take my seat.
Katia, give me some good news, please, darling.
I look around. Am I free to speak freely in here?
Needles won't say anything. Will you?
The task that you gave me a few nights previously is complete.
Complete.
From what I understand.
The gargoyle turns and trudges up, and she waits until it's gone and the door's behind before she stops, does a very slow glance around the room, including the upper levels, and then leans forward. Define from what you understand, Katia.
The individual was contained, and as far as I'm aware, is at the mercy of a one Alicia Donovan. She fully intends to end the individual's existence. And if her and her child's will is anything to go by, that has already transpired. My reason for not being there at this moment was to avoid any sort of implication as much as possible.
I can always trust you, darling, to bring me heartening news. Your coterie mate, the Malkavian. Tell me more about him.
Well, he has been rather errant the last few nights. He is the favourite, well, at least he thinks the world of his sire, to the point of almost being somewhat of a zealot about his work, to quite a severe degree, more severe perhaps than you might see from your, well, most childer.
You suspect a blood bond?
I'm not sure. I do not want to commit to any particular line of thinking when it could genuinely be that his sire's patronage of his arts is to the degree that it has allowed him to practice, whereas he might not have been able to before. It is certainly something I suspect. He also receives certain almost... I mean, I know this is a trait for which the clan is known, but he has received prophetic visions on more than one occasion in the last few weeks, which seems... well, it certainly seems often for a neonate. Such visions have saved his own and our lives more than once. But he has been acting strangely more often than he was before, recently. On the night of the incident at the gallery, specifically, I was concerned about him. He promised me that he was all right, which, if anything, gave me more reason to believe something was wrong, in that he's usually more than happy to ask enthusiastically for assistance. And that did strike me as a little odd.
Would you say, Katia, that he would do... that there is any limit to what he'd be willing to do to keep his sire safe?
In his most lucid state, I believe that he would have boundaries. But, as I've mentioned before, there have been times where he seems not himself, and in that state, I believe he could be persuaded to do all manner of things by the one he looked up to most. His behavior and his compassion certainly seem altered at times.
I have a request, Katia.
Yes.
Something that'll help settle my mind, as it were. It's not easy, but I assure you it's imperative. How well does this Malkavian trust you?
I like to think he at least respects my counsel to some extent.
But he is not that knowledgeable in the finer details of our existence.
No, I have had to teach him much of what he knows.
Do you believe you could get any of his vitae?
I could certainly... I could try. I believe I could. Yes, he also knows of the existence of the mage in our domain, and has shown much fear of such a character. If there is the slightest chance that could have some sway over him, and I could convince him that a drop of his blood would be enough for me to dispel such fears, or something along those lines, I might be able to play upon those insecurities.
His relationship with his sire concerns me. I need to know whether or not he is essentially another set of eyes and ears for his sire, or whether or not there are indeed limits to what he is willing to protect.
Of course. Has Edmund done something to arouse concern?
When does he not?
Well, quite. I mean, the incident occurring at his gallery always, well, it's a dead ringer to start with of something strange going on.
I do not trust Edmund Sinclair. I never have. I mean, certainly distrust is part of our existence, but there are those that I distrust for their motivations, and then there is those that I distrust for everything. I'm sorry to put this on your shoulders, Katia, but if what you said is correct, then we are rapidly approaching a time where we will be better placed to ensure troublesome elements like Edmund St. Clair are no longer an issue. But I need to know how far his reach extends, and I need to know promptly.
Yes, I will get you the blood.
I am planning to remove you from that. Forgive me for saying so, darling, but that squalid territory you're currently occupying. I have a few strings I intend on pulling that will set you up somewhere a bit more to your liking, somewhere with access to a... I mean, I don't have a great grasp of comparisons, but somewhere with access to a laboratory might be more to your liking.
That would be incredibly useful.
Well, it's early days yet, darling. We need to
Of course.
Keep track, but it's worth you knowing. Have you, Katia, had any reason to suspect any one of your coterie mates of disloyalty to the sect?
Well, I can say with surety, or at least as much as I can, from what I have observed, that Jim's loyalties, whilst perhaps as unpredictable kindred as he might be, he is very loyal to his sire, and indeed the Masquerade as it protects those he holds dear. I cannot see one such as him turning against it for Machiavellian or political means. I think his loyalty is somewhat easier to read than others. Benjamin, again, as I said before, he will follow what his sire dictates, and I myself do not know enough of Edmund to make any sound judgments. I can only say that now, and as when I met him, Benjamin is loyal and sings the praises of his sire to a amusing almost degree. Moses, I do not believe his loyalty could be swayed from sect, but I do believe, from what I understand, he is loyal to himself and his clan, with quite an intensity. And again, there are people he wishes to protect that I believe another sect other than the Camarilla would endanger, for sure. I mean, he has contacts within the Anarchs, but I have never seen him outwardly show a sign of joining them. He seems very much one to use his contacts to what benefits him and the protection of people he cares about. He has assisted with matters such as that of Chase and others which were directly for the Camarilla. He has not hesitated in those. But as I think is the case with most of his clan, he is a survivalist.
And to what extent is my involvement and your involvement known in the removal of Michael Chase?
As I say, I try to keep my implication minimal. I did not enter the building. I should not appear on any recordings of any kind. Out of character for a moment, how much would Katia think she might be implicated, other than her associations with the fact that Jim was obviously involved?
Not much, to be honest. I mean, it was Alicia more that pulled it in. You know, you didn't really make any...
No.
I mean, you kind of, like, spoke to them previously about Michael Chase, but you didn't mention Sabine, I don't believe.
No, I made sure never to
Yeah,
bring Sabine
never.
up. Yourself, you are most certainly not implicated. Myself, I do not believe I am. Like I say, this was very much Alicia's idea. I never had to bring it up. I just essentially accompanied for the first stage of the journey and provided a small amount of underground surveillance. I did not enter the vicinity, as it were.
Taking a coterie of neonates to defeat an elder, that's rash even for Alicia.
She was certainly in a rash frame of mind. I think she was still ticking over from the whole incident at the gallery.
Oh, I'm not complaining, darling. It saves us a sizable series of debts in order to ensure he was where we needed him to be, and at the same time, this way, if everything does go sour and anyone finds out about it... I mean, how attached are you to your gangrel coterie mate? That was
Less
rhetorical,
attached than I
darling.
am to you.
I'm glad to know. I know it seems like I have little enough social time with you, darling. It's been a busy series of...
I think social time is perhaps not one of the highest priorities after
It should always be a high priority, darling. It's the one thing that separates us purely from the beast. However, I do have one other request. Just, I'm sure you'll be doing it anyway.
Yes.
Just keep an eye on Benjamin. I'm sure you'll be able to prioritize what's worth me knowing.
Yes. And as always, I will contact you as soon as any developments worthy of your attention do arise.
Thank you, Katia. Now, if you are hungry, I believe there is some vitae stored from a particular individual which is soon about to expire. It's not often you get a chance to sample this kind of vintage, especially when you can witness the removal of the risk itself. It's your choice, darling. Of course, there is stored vitae around the chantry.
Who's the individual? If you don't mind my asking.
A member of the Sabbat that unwisely ventured too close to the chantry. Was tracked back to Hyde Park and... Well, I had a few questions.
Indeed. May I see them?
Of course, darling, you saw me bring them in. She gestures towards the door behind her.
I will look at the individual.
Okay. The individual's down in the cells.
Alright.
But he is a very dishevelled, very dirty looking, very pale kindred who is torpid, not moving. And his expression, even in sleep, seems to be very furious, very angry. It's the kind of feral looking Nosferatu that you've come to read about where the Sabbat are concerned. Very much someone that's just embraced and thrown into the conflict rather than someone of standing. Or if they are someone of standing, they've had one hell of a night that's led up to their capture. There's no outward signs of torture, but knowing Sabine, she's probably extracted information if there's any to get. They look as though they are exsanguinated, but it's hard to tell.
So, I suppose knowing what I know, does it seem unsafe to feed from individuals so close to exsanguination?
He is torpid.
As in safe, as in would that take it too far and be at a slightly taboo, risky point of feeding?
Only if you pursued it beyond.
Okay.
Based on what she said, the individual is going to be destroyed. So in terms of the risk...
But I know that if one essentially samples vitae, one doesn't lose oneself to kind of diablerie easily.
No, diablerie is more of a kind
It's
of...
a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I will acquiesce the offer more out of intellectual curiosity than anything.
So she unlocks the gate and then pushes it through. Just be careful not to remove the stake, darling.
Of course. And I will kneel beside the body and take rest. And
The skin's like paper mache.
kind of observe it for a moment, because this is quite interesting. I haven't really been up close before now. And then I will feed.
Okay. How much are you going to take?
Just the one.
Okay. So you take it. It is in complete contrast to his appearance. Incredible. I mean, you remember this kind of taste from your times feeding on Oliver. But it's been a while since you voluntarily sampled vitae. It's good, but before too long you are sucking through empty veins. And I'm assuming you stop.
Yeah. As much as you put this gift horse in front of me.
Do it.
Not yet.
Not
That's
yet.
Sabine there going, do it.
Not yet. I mean, I might be Tremere, but that's pushing it.
What if it's a salubri?
It's not, though. I checked the eye just in case.
That's 4. Oh, so you do drain. You get the rush of the ecstasy from the blood that goes down your throat. A darker, kind of more, a thicker substance.
It's like a smoothie compared to concentrated juice.
Yes. The kind of smoothies that probably cost like upwards of £30 type thing.
I'll try not to name drop or what we're technically doing there.
But
Product placement.
But it is incredible, and it seems almost like it's over too quickly. And then as you drop the arm, Sabine opens the gate again and lets you walk straight back out.
My thanks.
Not at all, darling. It's nice to actually see you get to feed for a change. Every time I see you, you look like you're pale as on a sheet.
Well, I spend a lot of time helping other people to feed at the moment.
Yes, well, look after yourself first and foremost, darling. If they can't look after themselves, then they won't last long.
True, but lately my concern has been if they don't last long, that also reflects on me, which is a difficult situation. Goodness knows we have enough police presence as it is.
Indeed. Well, that will go in time, I'm sure.
Yes. And I will notify you as soon as I receive what I need to take to you.
Of course, darling. I will be here for the next few nights. I have a few things I need to do now that you've brought me the good news.
Of course. Oh, one more thing, just, it seems a little bit irrelevant at this point, but I thought it might be worth bringing up. I did perform the ritual fairly recently on both my other coterie mates, more out of concern of our other neighbour. And whilst Moses is clear of any meddling from the mage, Jim does retain their influence on his blood. I figured that might be of note.
You've not come into contact directly with this. No. Keep it that way, Katia. And do not let your companions share your identity with this individual.
I'll keep it that way.
She looks over to the torpid body and very just casually flexes her fingers. Now, was there anything else, darling? I'm itching to get back to it.
Of course. No, that is everything, and I will report to you as soon as I have something.
Give my best to Will when you see her.
I will.
Good evening, darling.
Good evening.
She opens the door, and as you're stepping up the stairs, you just hear her say, "Now, where were we?" And then the door shuts. Where are you going to be heading? What are you going to be doing?
Firstly, I will most likely send a text to each of my coterie mates to essentially find out their whereabouts at this current point.
Okay. So, you guys, your phones do go off, but at the moment you have other concerns. Your phone goes off. Whilst you do have other concerns, they're not immediate. And in the relative silence of the crossed hands, it's easy enough for you to get distracted by the sound of your phone.
I just reply on the roof. Fairly certain you'll know where the hell that is.
Alright then. Well, since Jim is the only one that's replied, I will head back to the crossed hands.
Okay.
As I'm still filing, because that'll take a while.
Meanwhile, Alice is not in a good state. She is as ruined as she was the last time you seen her. Although the healing on her legs is enough that she is mobile, but she can't support her own weight yet. So when you physically grab her and begin hauling her towards the door, it is not quick, it is not easy. and she does collide both with the door frame and the side table next to the door, scattering bits and pieces over as you drag her out. But she doesn't seem to be able to offer up much resistance, even now that she is satiated. She seems very confused and disorientated. But she is still not fully willing to go with you. But there's no resistance there because she's just come out of a frenzy. She's just undergone God knows what. She is not fully alert. So as you run down out onto the street, I mean, I'm asking you what your intention is, but it's kind of clear what your intention is.
I am gonna put her in the car.
Okay.
In Benjamin's car, on the back seat. Just go like, lay down here. I'll be right back.
Well, she goes straight in, lurches over, and just tumbles down in the seat. Says nothing, but
I put this between the seats on the floor. Just keep hold of this.
She grabs it as you're doing it and pulls it up over herself so that any casual glances aren't going to actually see the extent of her injuries.
Yeah. And I close the door, throw the hat inside the car, and things that might fall. And just go into the shadows. I'm going to hunt.
Okay. There is still the police presence. So, before we jump on that, you're standing at the bottom of the stairs.
Yes.
You've seen Moses charge out of the front door with a somewhat ragdoll Alice going behind him.
Okay.
And the sound of the clattering bowls and the keys going everywhere is a momentary distraction, but as you're looking up, you can see Susan standing there with the cricket bat just staring at you. And then she watches the door as he darts off and then immediately turns and bolts back across the top of the landing to where she was.
Okay.
You hear the door rattling. She whispers something frantically. The door opens and then it shuts again.
So do I think she's gone into a room upstairs?
Yeah, you think she's gone into a room.
Okay. This is unfortunate. I thought she was going to face me. All right, what I'm going to do, I think, is go up towards that room.
Okay. So you go upstairs and there's an uncomfortably loud... Do you still have any disciplines active?
I did have silence of death.
Then
but
there
I've
is no
dropped it.
sound.
But I'll drop it because I need to.
So there's the sound of creaking as you go up the stairs, and then as you turn around the corner, you can see... you see the various doors, the one off your the one onto your left and the other ones. But then you hear the voices coming from the bathroom door, the door that she was stood in front of before she came down. Although I think it was you that witnessed that. So you can hear voices, and you can hear a very quiet. You can hear a quiet girl's voice, one that you recognise.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
And then someone shushing, and then you can hear the dialing of a phone.
I'm going to knock on the door to the bathroom.
Silence.
I'll say hello. Excuse me. Hello.
What do you have active?
Only heightened senses. That's
Okay.
it.
You can hear on the other end of the phone.
Oh shit.
999. What's your location? What are you doing?
Well, I'm not going to interrupt the 999 call because that will only make them come faster. Is there a light on in the bathroom?
Yes, from underneath the door.
Does it sound like she is against the door, or when she's talking on the phone, does she sound like she's right by the door, or she's further into the... Okay. I'll assume, well, she's probably making her call, so I will let her make...
She hasn't said anything yet.
Okay. I'll say, excuse me. Can we talk about what just happened? Are you alright in there?
And there's a sound of a skittering phone.
Say, do I think it was loud enough side for like an adult that might have fainted?
Yeah.
So, Lucy, Are you in there?
No.
So you might not remember me, but I'm actually a friend of Moses. I was there the night that very big horrible man came to get you in that other house.
Do a manipulation. Or charisma plus persuasion. I'll let you choose between the two.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing?
How have you got so few dice for that roll?
Because I'm a social failure. I'll tell you.
I thought you were more charismatic than that.
No.
It is going on me.
How do I know it's you?
Well, that's a very good question. Well, how about you keep the door shut and locked for now, and just let me know. The lady, is she all right in there? Has she fallen over?
She's not answering me. And then you just hear her.
I'll say, Lucy.
Yeah?
Am I right in thinking that lady, does she know about Moses?
She's not waking up.
I could help wake her up if you let me inside.
You won't hurt her?
Oh, no, I don't want to hurt her. I just want to make sure that she's all right and that you're all right.
Where's Moses?
He was sorting out a problem. You know that there was someone who was quite scary here just now.
Alice.
Oh, you know Alice, do you? Well, Moses is making sure that Alice is all right, because I think she's had a very difficult evening, and that's why she's not behaving very well.
She hit Susan.
No.
I think she's bleeding.
What, Susan's bleeding?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should have a look a little bit more urgently then, because we don't want her to, you know.
You hear the sound of a child grunting, and then that as a body is moved away from the door.
Like,
and then the rattling of the door, and then it opens, and there's Lucy there in a night top and night trousers, standing there with a blanket, and then around the corner of the door you can just see legs.
Okay, can I get into the bathroom?
Yeah, she's opened it enough.
Okay, I'll go in. Just have a quick look at Susan. There's not like blood everywhere, is there, or anything?
No, there's. Do an intelligence plus medicine for me.
I don't have medicine.
Surely you've painted enough
one.
injuries by now.
You a quick look over as you're kind of surveying it, and you can certainly pick it up from the smell. She is bleeding, and as you kind of turn her to try and have a better look, there's a stain on the ground from the back of her head, and as you kind of lean in and part the hair on the head to inspect, it looks as though she's caught the corner of something on her head, as though she's fallen into it.
Okay.
And her eyes are closed, but they're fluttering behind the eyelids, and the phone is still active, but there's no response, and the cricket bat's on the other side of the room. It does look as though it's fractured in a few places, as though it struck something.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is hang up the phone.
Okay.
And then the second thing I'm going to do is look for something, possibly some of her clothing or a towel or something to put around the...
Okay.
Because I want to staunch the bleeding a little bit. I don't think Benjamin's going to know a lot about anything else. Assuming her skull doesn't look a really odd shape, obviously at which point I will step away. But...
No. It looks as though, based on what you can get, she's fallen backwards and then struck her head on the corner of something. It's got a crack in the back of her head.
Okay.
But it's not like skull's blasted inwards or
Yeah,
something.
okay. Well, I'll wrap something around her head, like a towel or something, just to kind of...
Yeah, there's numerous towels, and you manage to gather one up and just slowly tie it. Lucy just stands there just watching, very curiously calm, given everything that's going on. I mean, she's still terrified. You can tell that in her face, but she's not like panicking, crying. She's just kind of observing, and every now and again she looks out at the door, and every time that there's a sound like the creaking of the stairs or something like that, she slams the door, pauses, and then opens the door and has a look again. It's somewhat distracting just having this slamming right next to you, but given what else she could be doing given her age, it's probably not the worst kind of distraction.
You're being very brave, Lucy, by the way.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Who are you?
Well,
You know Moses.
yes, that's right. I'm a friend of his, and when you made a call that you were in trouble, and when we heard about it, when he heard about it, I was with him, so we came here as quickly as we could. This lady here, you say she doesn't know about Moses. Am I right in thinking she doesn't know about, well, anyone like Moses?
What do you mean no one like Moses? Angel?
An angel?
Yeah,
Do you know an angel?
Moses.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yes. All right.
I thought you knew Moses.
I do. I just he didn't tell me he was an angel. That's all.
He likes to keep it secret.
Well, I won't tell anyone either. I'll keep it a secret.
Have you met Foggy?
Yes. Yes, I have met Foggy. Yes.
It's odd that she is this kind of like calm and conversational, given that
I
her
might have to
carers
get her
are
to.
bleeding on the ground.
She might have to teach Benjamin how to be.
It's
Next downtime, I'm going to get lessons.
I mean, depending on how you want to look at it, either she is one of the calmest child that you've ever met, or she's probably in some mild state of shock. This is not probably the.
Benjamin understands about shock.
Yeah,
It's fine.
the master of.
So, are you hurt at all, Lucy?
No.
Good. I think it would be a good idea if this lady here doesn't know about Moses, as in if it's still a secret.
But she saw him.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Does she know Alice? Because you know Alice. Did she know Alice?
I don't know. He hid her though.
Ah, yes, I can. Yes, I can see. Probably best we don't mention Alice to her either. I'm going to try and wake her up, but it might be she just needs to rest a while because she's had such a big knock on the head.
I think the police are coming.
Yes, and it might be a good idea if I go before they get here,
Why?
because I'm a bit of a secret too.
You're... okay.
I'm not really an angel. I suppose I'm a trainee angel. I don't really have my
Moses
wings yet.
teach you?
Yes, Moses is teaching me, yes. But I'm a bit of a slow learner.
I know.
Right, good. Fine. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that I've got a fairly swift exit out of the bathroom if I need it.
Okay.
And I'm just going to see if I can bring this person round.
Okay. So we'll say. Freaking hell. We'll say Dex plus medicine.
Oh, I know what I might do.
Okay.
Is there anything in the bathroom that looks like it might have a good, like, smelling salt duplication factor? As in, if there's any kind of good pungent.
No, I mean the
scent or
building
thing?
itself looks largely barren. Well, not barren. There's definitely people living there, but it's not like fully decorated like someone that's been there for a while.
But so they haven't got like.
No,
smellies
all
and
you can
stuff
see
on
in
the
there
shelves.
is 2 toothbrushes,
Okay.
toothpaste, and then you've got the towels.
So intelligence plus medicine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Dex, whichever one. You can add Dex if you've.
I might have to spend a willpower just
Okay.
because I don't know what the success margin is, but if I don't get it, I've got a bestial. This would be a really bad time to get a bestial.
And spoil the cute moment.
So 2 successes.
All right, that's enough. Just. So
I'm glad I spent a little
you begin fussing around with the wounds. It is quite... the crack is sizable, but it's not deep. You get the feeling that she's lost... That she was actually on her feet longer than she probably should have.
Yeah.
Given the impact. You're not sure where she took that impact. But... It was enough that it probably should have knocked her straight out. So it's remarkable that she was still moving and mobile. She's not in any immediate risk.
Yeah.
Like immediate risk, but she needs to get to a hospital.
Sure. So she's starting to come to, is she?
No.
So when I do that, it doesn't wake her up?
No.
Okay. Well, she's not going to wake up. By the time she wakes up, I'm pretty sure I can't do anything to help anyway. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, Lucy, do you know your address?
I know my home address.
Do you know this address?
No.
All right. Here's what I'm... Well...
I know where I go to school.
No, it has to be here. I'm going to just check your house number.
Okay.
All right? And then I'm going to want you to make a phone call for me.
Can I go with you?
Yes, of course you can.
She grabs your hand.
So I'll take her downstairs. I guess we can go out the front door, actually. So we'll go out to the front and just see if there's a number on the door.
Yeah, there's 18.
Because Moses knew where this was and I didn't, so...
Yeah.
Do I know what the street name is?
Not that you can see from directly in front of the door.
We need Google Maps.
With heightened senses, can I look down the road to see like a street, the street sign at either end?
No, because it's facing off. You'd have to go down to one of them.
I'll say, Lucy, we need to go and find the name of your street. Do you mind coming for a quick walk?
I don't want to leave Susan.
I don't want to either. It's just that we need to tell the ambulance where you live so they can come and make her better.
Okay.
All right. So we'll move to the end of the road, whichever looks like the nearest end of the road, to get the name of the street or the road.
So, it's 18 Chancery Lane.
Okay. Cool. So go back to the house.
She goes with you.
So what you've been very brave so far, Lucy. I'm going
So
to.
have you.
Thank you. You know, I think I have been quite brave actually, because whilst you know, Alice does seem like a good person, she was quite scary tonight.
Yeah.
I
think she killed the cat.
No. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry.
It wasn't my cat.
Right. Well, I'm still sorry about that.
Kept staring at me through the window. I didn't like that cat.
Oh well. I suppose maybe that's a silver lining then. I'll take her back up to the bathroom.
Okay.
Teaching this kid to be a sociopath.
She's not a sociopath.
Yet.
She's cute.
She's being taught that killing someone who stares at you through a window is a silver lining.
She's not a sociopath.
Just telling it like it is. It's like, and remember, kids, don't kill people that look at you funny. So,
It's not what Moses says.
No, what? No. Hang on a
This is the
second.
villain of book 4.
yeah. Yeah, Lucy is going to be I like the villain of book 25 when she's got her XP. So I'll.
This is the reason that London fell.
I'll say to Lucy. So in a moment, I'm going to want you. Do you know about calling 999?
Yeah.
And when they ask you what kind of problem it is, you say it's a medical emergency. And then they'll ask where you are, and they'll ask you some questions. You just answer the questions, and then they'll send an ambulance with some doctors, and they will come and make her better. And they do need to do that because she's had a nasty bang on the head.
Chancery Lane.
Number 18 Chancery Lane. I'll stay while you make the call.
Okay.
But when you finish the call, I'm going to have to go.
Can I see Moses?
Well, I know that he will come and see you soon. He's having to look after Alice at the moment because she was not in a very good state.
I hope she's okay.
Yes, I hope she's okay too. But I'm sure he'll come back very soon and check in on you. So are you ready to make the call? Because we shouldn't leave it too long for her because we want the doctors to look at her.
She goes and sits down next to her and takes up the phone and then hits 999.
Hi, medical. 12. She banged her head. Well, there's some blood. No, I'm not alone. Oh, 18 Chancery Lane. Can you come quickly? She's not waking up. Lucy? Okay. She wants to talk to you. He can't talk right now. I don't know. I don't know. I can talk now.
I'm going to hang up the phone. I'll say...
That was pretty rude.
I'll say, now remember, Lucy, I'm supposed to be a secret.
Oh, sorry.
Might be a good idea when they ask, if they do ask, you could just say I was an imaginary friend or something.
That's a little kid thing.
Yes.
I'm 12.
Oh yes, I know you are, and you're a very grown-up 12, but they probably won't realise that. Well, you tell them whatever, but don't tell them about me. I wasn't here. Just like you can't tell them about Moses being here, or Alice being here. Do you understand? Moses will come and see you as soon as he can, and if for any reason he can't come soon, I'll come back and check you're okay, and that she's okay, alright? And you did a very good thing calling for help like you did. We got the message and we were able to come, so well done. I'll give her the phone back. I'm going to have a look at this cricket bat. This cricket bat, does it look like a Masquerade breaching cricket bat or just a regular cricket bat?
It looks like a cricket bat that's hit something sizable, but it's not like...
There's not like fang marks in it or anything. Right, good.
Got PTSD after the skull
It's got
incident.
fangs itself.
Yeah, I just, never know. Like, we could have hit her in the face, you see. She's like...
Cricket bat. Sorry.
So, well, I'm going to have to go now. Just remember, Moses is a secret. You can't tell them about Moses. Same with Alice and same with me. Do you think you can do that?
Then who am I going to say broke the door?
Well, just say that you don't know, that someone did, but you don't know who it was.
That's lying.
Well, yes, but...
Well, she comes back.
What, Alice?
Yeah.
Well, if she does come back, it will only be because she's better. Moses will make sure of that, I promise you, and I'll make sure of it too. Good luck, Lucy. I know this is going to be difficult, and I'm sorry I can't stay with you.
She does hug you around the waist. It's kind of like...
Oh,
It's so that evil is cleansed away.
Power of good and light. I mean, for all of her calm facade, she is shaking.
Okay.
And you get the feeling that it's more and more, it's probably a bit of shock that's kind of giving her this kind of...
Yeah.
But the moment that you release her and step away, she goes and sits down next to Susan, just grabs her hand and just sits there.
Okay. Good luck, Lucy. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
And I'm going to go. Get to my car.
There is movement from the back seat.
I'll have a look in...
There is Alice lying on your back seat with a guitar case kind of in a really poor position over her. That's
Well, we'll get into more. I'll just have a quick look. On the outside doors and things, I can't remember exactly what state Alice in, but is there like blood or anything really like smeared over the car or anything? It's not like that.
no, not on her. She is a wreck. She is a walking masquerade breach. At the
Okay.
moment. This is the first time you've actually seen the kind of condition that she's in.
Okay.
But it looks like most of her skin has been stripped. She is missing an eye, and her thigh is halfway cut through.
Okay.
She is not in a good state at all.
Okay, I'm going to get in the car. I'm having the sense of deja vu as I get in the car. So, where's Moses? I'll be putting my seatbelt on.
She doesn't say anything.
Alice, where's Moses?
She doesn't say anything.
Alice, can you talk?
She doesn't say anything.
Right, I'm going to drive. I don't want to be parked in this street when the ambulance comes. So I'm going to drive a little bit away. And then once I've found a relatively quiet street, my plan is to... I don't have any clue. I don't think I have any idea what you're doing. So I will text Moses to say, where are you? I will also text Katia to say, long story. And then I will call Jim.
Okay. So you go off and do this. Meanwhile, what's the method of your hunting? And how far away are you willing to go from the house?
Oh, a couple of streets.
Okay.
As long as I can stay in the shade, or you know.
Yeah, it's early evening. There's a lot of foot traffic. I say early evening, like I said, about 2000 hours. So there is a lot of foot traffic. There's lots of opportunities to feed, but there's also a lot of opportunities for things to go shit. Tits up, excuse the expression, but you're hungry. So
I'm probably gonna Sandman it.
okay.
It's the one that I would feel the most comfortable with.
Okay. So make your roll. Difficulty is up by 1. Hang on, you're outside of your territory, so you are in
poaching territory.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to get the base difficulty before I raise it up.
So many red dice. I don't know.
So many red dice.
So there's a lot. I mean, doing anything on Hunger 5 is just
Yeah, it's
Okay.
terrifying.
it's the worst.
Yep. So it's going to be +1 because of the police presence.
Have I recovered any willpower?
Yes, everyone would have.
Yeah.
Have I fulfilled my ambition?
Yes,
Yes!
technically.
Okay. This is awful. This is absolutely disgusting.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's on fire.
3 successes. I am a Hunger 5, not that I can re-roll a lot. So.
No, I know.
Reroll that one.
1.
Re-roll that 1 die.
You get a 50-50 chance.
I would rather
Okay.
have an extra die for, humanity rolls.
I'll let you succeed at a cost. You will successfully feed and hide the evidence. However, it will result in you taking someone's life and suffering strain.
Somewhat?
You will feed and hide the evidence, but it will result in you taking someone's life and suffering strain. Or stain. Stain.
Okay, Sting.
He will also suffer strain. He will stretch
Yeah,
his
he'll
back.
pull a muscle.
My neck. The worst thing is that
You need the blood.
It'll be 2 stains that you take.
ouch! That's awful.
Well, it couldn't. It's not planned murder. It's impassioned. So, it's not as high as it could be.
Do you have any convictions you can wave at the ST?
What, for just randomly killing someone?
Yeah, you might have a.
He is on the very cusp of a hunger frenzy, so I think.
Yes, I am, and
It also means that you don't need to roll willpower and potentially going absolutely blitzkrieg because you're draining him anyway.
Yeah. And my conviction does not apply for this hunt.
Bummer.
It was protect the children from harm, so it applied when helping
Lucy, yeah.
Lucy by stopping Alice. So this is like a consequence.
I will let it apply this once.
Taken. You have a deal.
Just purely because this is happening as a result of
It's a direct consequence of me. Protect the children from harm.
Just because Staines is a pretty
my
steep
touch
price.
zone was right there. I mean, I had to, like.
Yeah. So you take 1 stain.
Okay.
You will be on hunger 0.
Okay.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Won't last long. Trust me on that one.
Can I have some of your blood?
Can you have some of my blood?
Just walk up to him and thanks, Ben. This is just how we say
It
it.
sounds like you're asking me out of character. That's what creeps me out.
So,
Yeah, what scares me is that if I fail the degeneration roll, it means that every time I'm trying to protect the children, killing is justified.
no, that's not the moral of the story here.
That's the sad part. That's what I said. Like, if I pass my degeneration roll, I will feel bad. If I fail it and lose humanity, Moses will start thinking, hey, as long as it's because of this, it's justified. So it changes your mentality a little bit.
Just make sure there's a second person there and squint at them until they look like a child and be like, right.
Yeah. It's like, you look young enough. Yeah, let's do it.
Out of context, that's a terrible thing.
Just forget that ever happened.
Please, no one watch that clip out of context.
Moving on.
So,
Forget. I would have that happen. Forget.
so the individual that you managed to feed upon and murder
Thank you.
You're welcome.
looks to be somebody in their 40s, late 40s, early 50s, quite elderly. They look. I didn't mean that.
Late 40s. This is almost dead anyway.
I didn't mean that. I meant. Ow. That's karma. So, all right, sorry.
Yes, it is.
Late 50s. There you go.
Late 50s, early 60s, going on elderly. Okay, got
You
it.
guys aren't going to let me forget this, are you? You feed on him. Damn you guys.
Wow.
What? Gone. No. You feed on him, and you feel the last vestiges of life leave his body. But at this point, you're already gripped by the beast. You're not in full frenzy, but your beast is so fucking close. And then just as you tell yourself, no, this is enough, you're done, and you retract your fangs, he's already not moving, he's unresponsive. And then you are about to seal up the wound, you're about to lay him down, but then you realise that there is no blood trickling out of the holes you've made. That, coupled with the fact that you can't feel his heart through his chest, it's clear that he's dead. So you lick the wound close, and then you do manage to find a set of bins which are very full, and you manage to stow him in at the bottom, so at a casual glance, unless someone jumps in and does, dumpster diving or something similar, they're not going to find him.
Do I gain any resonance?
You do.
Get past that.
You will gain phlegmatic.
Any specific type?
Not intense, just general.
Okay, normal phlegmatic.
And then you start making your way back, I'm assuming. Or are you heading anywhere else?
Now I pull out the phone.
You get a message from Katia.
Walk to a corner that has a shadow so I can turn Cloak of Shadows. Take out my phone, check it, see her text, see his text, text Benjamin, where are you? Immediately, because if he has not left the premises, I can still catch a ride with him. And then I text Katia, where are you?
Would I reach the crossed hands at this point, or was
Be on your way. You wouldn't be far.
I text back on way to crossed hands. Almost home.
Probably see you later, I guess.
I spend like 5 minutes doing a really awkward thumbs up, but like manually.
Like,
You got to appreciate the effort.
I actually save it so I can
Copy paste.
later
Copy and paste.
improve upon it, copy paste it, and do like those little like beach scenes that you would do with emojis and things. Nice idea.
Did you invent emojis?
I think they are already there. I just need to make them better.
Bring them to the camera.
That's what I want.
Were there emojis in 2001 or was it emoticons? Maybe a discussion for another.
A discussion for another time. I text Benjamin.
Okay.
And if he does not reply, I start trying to figure out my way out of here. And if it's possible through the sewers, which will serve a double purpose because that'll allow me. Well, no, because she's moving again. I don't need to know the sewers here because Susan's gonna be moving again, so it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, if I know her, she's gonna be moving.
So you're just going straight to the sewers, or?
No, I stay in Cloak of Shadows in that corner of the street, so if Benjamin is around, I can say, pick me up at the corner of such and such, and it's just me going out of the shadows into the car, leaving.
Okay. So as you are getting set to move on and you're asking your gently getting more frustrated questions towards the silence Alice, your phone does buzz.
From him.
His feeding was pretty rapid.
It says, "Where are you?" doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'll text back. Not far from where we were.
I text the corner which I am.
Okay. But I was calling Jim. I don't know if the text happens where in the order that was.
So just before you call Jim, because he has literally gone out, found someone, grabbed them, fed, killed them.
I will call Jim after I've picked up Moses. So I will.
Hungerfied moments.
Bitch. I'll have to get my map out, work out where the address he sent me is, and then I'll drive over there to get him.
Okay. Doesn't take you too long. He's not gone too far. A couple of streets over, but you do manage to catch a glimpse of him in the shadows, just waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, I let myself be seen for him so he can stop.
Yeah, I will.
Go into the car.
So,
Let's go to the cross hands.
all right. I'll start driving that way. I'll say,
Actually,
that lady, you know the one that saw us?
yeah.
Well, I was intending to make it so she hadn't seen us, except that she was unconscious. She passed out from a head injury. I think she'd been bleeding for a while. An ambulance is on its way, and I've,
Call the house. If Susan's passed out, just call. Just take it to my condo, please.
Not the cross hands.
No, Alice and I need a safe place, and the cross hand is far from it.
All right.
Beep, 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 beep.
Again, calling the landline.
Beep, 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 beep.
But I got Lucy to call an ambulance, and I was there until she finished the call. So, obviously, it's a little worrying that we're reliant on a 12-year-old girl keeping our presence a secret, and of course, this.
She said she was 12.
Yes.
Cute.
Is she not 12?
No, she's 8.
Oh, well, she's very convinced. I mean, she was very mature. I was impressed.
I mean, 7 going on 8, but she's 8.
Really? I would not have. She was so grown up. She was more grown up than a lot of grown-ups I've met, to be honest with you.
She probably says that because being an older girl means she gets into less trouble and people listen to her.
Technically, she's not 7 yet. She's 7 in November.
Oh, sorry. She's 6 going on 7.
No. Oh, now I just feel foolish.
She was a very mature 6-year-old.
Yeah, she's 6 going on 7. Sorry, I missed it by a year.
But also, obviously, that lady may have concussion, which might help our case, but nonetheless...
What did you tell Lucy?
I told her... well, she made it clear to me that you are a secret. I'm assuming that we're driving away.
Yeah, no, you can hear it in the distance.
Cool,
You're not on the same street.
Okay.
So, yes, I was very clear that you should stay a secret, and that Alice needed to be a secret, and that I needed to be a secret, and she seemed happy with that.
So she was happy talking to you.
Well, I told her that I was your friend.
Cool.
She, I don't know if this was just her. I don't know if you have a shared sense of humour or something, but she seems to think that you're an angel.
Yes.
No, is that you joking still?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. Why would she talk to a guy like me?
Fine, good. Well, anyway, she was
small and she figured...
She was happy with the idea of you being a secret, and I asked her to keep it that way.
Yeah, because angels are supposedly just visible to those spiritual fards.
So
that's why we pray when she's going to bed.
But my point is that this could be bad in the future. The only thing I'm glad about is I'm wearing these ridiculous clothes because, at least I can get rid of them. But still, I mean...
Did she see Alice?
Yes. Well, I think she hit Alice with a cricket bat.
Susan?
Is that the name of the lady?
Yeah, that's Lucy's guardian.
Yes, I think she hit her with a cricket bat.
It's her aunt.
Alice, by the way, isn't talking.
I know. She is...
I mean, I don't know...
She's going to my condo where I can tend to her.
Right. And then I should probably go back and check on Jim, because goodness knows... he must be going out of his mind with worry, and also he seemed to say he was in trouble or something. I had the impression that there was pending trouble.
Grab the phone, text Alicia. Yet another text. Where's my bike? Also, found the footage of your merry trip along the streets. Taking care of that. How was dinner? Just basically want to know if she finally, did the deed.
There's no response.
Yeah. She's not gonna reply anytime soon.
So anyway, Moses, I'm a little concerned that this is definitely a masquerade breach.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'm not really... Well, I don't tend to be involved in making masquerade breaches. This is probably my first one, actually. I was wondering if you had any advice about what we do at this point.
Leave it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, wonderful. Do you need any help with...
Probably.
Right. All right. Well, you tell me.
I'll let you know.
All right. But you think this is something we can handle, or something we should be worried about?
I think this is something we can handle while being worried. Does that work?
I suppose so.
Right now, if Susan has a concussion and someone broke into her flat, they're gonna give Alice's description.
Well, I suppose when you think about it, if Lucy doesn't corroborate the story, and if Susan is saying, "Oh, someone broke into my house and they in the state that, and even able to move," I mean, that's going to seem unusual. And then that, I mean, they're going to think it was a very bad concussion, aren't they?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes.
Either way, it would be good to see what the statement is and who is investigating it. But that's something for later.
Right. Yes.
When you drop me off,
yes,
I would really like to say thank you to Edmund for what he did, killing the Nosferatu that killed Foggy.
Yes. So you're saying you want me to take you to meet Edmund?
Well, not tonight. I'm taking care of Alice.
Yes, but in the future.
If you could arrange it because I am.
Well,
very much like...
funnily enough, he's very keen that I bring him a new phone. In fact, he wants it so much he doesn't want me to arrive without it. So if you were able to pick up a phone,
I have a burner that I can use.
Yes, then you could come with me when I deliver the phone. perhaps that would work.
Let's see how Alice is, and if she's okay, let's do that.
Yes. Although all of the things I said before still stand.
It's okay. Everybody's been through a lot.
Yes.
So where are you headed?
So I'm dropping him off at the condo, and then I will call Jim.
Okay. Meanwhile, your roof. It's nice having a roof to yourself. I mean, you know this roof. You've walked this roof. Even people that have never been to this roof know it to be your roof. And the best bit about it is that it gives you a proper... It gives you a good... God, words fail me. A good position from which to oversee the entirety of the crossstands, which is why you do note when Katia does make her return.
How far have I found the touchdown at this point?
It's thick bone,
Yeah.
and it's painful. You're rubbing through raw nerve. You know, your body doesn't work like it always does, but it's enough that you can still feel that. What are you doing?
Just watching her as she comes in. I've told her that I'm on the roof, so
I will be making my way upstairs towards said roof.
The place is very quiet, so you begin making your way up without any sort of interruptions, without anybody coming across your path. And before too long, you're standing up on the roof with Jim.
my back is probably to where I come up at the moment. Where she's coming up at the moment. Not filing anymore at this point.
Do I see that he's got a file?
A file?
I'd probably put it down. I'd put it down at this point. Just not being obvious.
They're like,
I assume your hunt went well, given that you're still here.
Mostly.
Is it done?
It's done.
Good. That's good. And Alicia, where did she sort off to?
This point, this point, I turn around. It's fucked up. Okay. She's off on Moses' bike. Yeah, fucking
What happens if you pull that out? Will it turn to ash?
You got a pair of pliers, or where do I fucking try that?
I think I do have a pair of pliers. Hold on. And I'm going to get a pair of pliers from my room.
Pulls it, Torpor. Let's face it, you're pretty close.
And I show him like an array of wrong word. Pliers and like scalpels and cool sciencey stuff.
That looks like a torture kit.
It's not. It's for science. Do you want me to pull the tusk?
torpor.
I mean, how deeply rooted can it be?
I can do this.
Well, it'll be. Think about it this way: when you were young, did you ever tie a string around your tooth and then slam the door with it attached to the door?
I just grab the tooth and wriggle it.
Well, what you're doing now is you are wriggling the loose tooth. Now, if we just put it out in one go, the amount of pain you will suffer will be over instantaneously, as opposed to this slow and unpleasant experience you are currently going through.
Alright, then come on.
Can I try and pull the tusk out?
Oh my god.
Sure. Strength plus. It's not really a medical thing, really. It's well, if you've got science or medicine, crack on.
I do science.
Jake palms at the ready, everyone.
Science.
As I would be kind of tagging against it as well, would that be a +1?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Be still failure. That's just one success. It's pretty. It's fun to see what happened.
Don't move.
I mean, it's comedic to anybody else but you, because what you don't realise is that the tusk isn't attached to your gums; it's actually attached to your jaw. So effectively, she's been snapping off a piece of your jaw. It does come away, leaving you quite a sizable gap in the side of your face.
I told you.
But you take 1 superficial.
That's
And
the
you're
worst
impaired.
damage I've ever inflicted upon anybody.
And you're impaired again.
Oh my.
But if you heal that, does it grow back?
See? And now you haven't A, got to find it down, and B, walk around with your hand over your mouth if you decide to go back out in public.
Don't try healing that because that's on my face. That's gotta be healed. Don't get hungry.
Don't go hungry.
No, don't get hungry.
There's a jutting bone which begins to heal.
I mean, I can try and break that off as well. We can repeat this process until you look normal again.
She's enjoying this a bit too much.
I just drank for that blood, guys.
Weird, it had a different effect on
I do have a question for you.
Shoot.
The magic stuff that your clan does, does
Yeah.
that do protective stuff?
Yes, a little. There are some protective techniques. None that I myself have studied enough to be able to simply just use, but they do exist. What sort of thing are you asking about?
I've become aware that there's rather large lupine presence in London than I thought.
Right.
And
Whilst what you're asking is possible, it might be a little beyond my means, but yes, it's possible. I highly doubt that without some major boonage, we would be able to convince a more powerful member of my clan to perform said techniques. Unfortunately, it might not be something I myself am able to. Well, given how busy we are right now, I haven't had much time to study. So you can understand how my own abilities in that particular region, well, okay, it takes a lot of work and practice. It isn't something that we just do. You know, it requires dedication, and I just haven't been able to put enough of my time into it recently.
well, if you could look into what that might cost as an idea,
I can try.
that could be useful for all of us.
Yes.
In addition, you're saying because you have studies and probably books on. I'm guessing you don't have books on Sabbat and such.
Most likely, they've got books on all
Yeah.
sorts.
Any chance you can actually get any books on techniques on how to bring down Sabbat? Because
I mean, as far as I'm aware,
the war is here, so.
as far as I'm aware, bringing down Sabbat is just the same as bringing down any other kindred.
Or any books on what abilities they have, on basically any weaknesses we can find. Because
Weaknesses I can probably look into. Out of character for a moment, I did do a bunch of Sabbat reading up way back after the Foggy incident. Do I remember any particular, I guess, features from my reading?
You know the names of the 2 primary clans.
Okay.
But you don't know much because I seem to recall it was one.
It wasn't a great roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know the names of the primary clans, and you know the stereotypes of
Right.
them that pervade vampiric society.
I know some basic information about them. Not a huge amount. Obviously, it's not something you casually read about.
no.
They're mostly, well, there are 2 castes, as it were, that are more or less restricted to the Sabbat. You don't tend to get any of these individuals outside of that sect. These 2 clans are the Simise and the La Sombra. The usual telltale signs in case you are face to face with the Sabbat and need to try and work out what it is. If the shadows start doing crazy shit, that's La Sombra.
Right.
If if their bodies start doing crazy shit, that's Sinisei.
Right.
And that's the most telltale signs. Also, if the La Sombra tend to be a bit more. Well, from what I've heard, they are more the talkers of the spat, whereas the Sinisei. Well, for example, you remember that hulking creature in the gallery? I'm sure you recall that one.
That was surprisingly fun bringing that down.
Right. Well, yes, I imagine it probably was. That can be directly attributed to the Sinisei.
Right.
Like I said, weird body shit.
Yeah. And with that, any information you can bring up? Because
weaknesses, I don't know off the top of my head. I can do some further research if I have time back at the yeah. So.
And if you can get many books on that, maybe I can start reading through and finding stuff. Because again,
I can try
understand.
You might need to owe a boon to somebody if you wish to actually borrow property of the clan. These are very rare and, as you can understand, precious objects.
Oh yeah. And again, this war is here and there. You have to be one who wants to fight it, probably.
Well, that might be true, but we don't even know if the Camarilla on large even is. There hasn't been enough time to really understand what the general sect perception of what's even going on is. They might think it's. Well, let's just say the Sabbat haven't really been seen for decades until all of a sudden they explode out of nowhere. People aren't going to let go of their own trappings quite so easily, unfortunately. There are far more selfish individuals than you in this city.
Well, all I can do is prepare. Heal, and again, with the books, it gives me something to keep me occupied.
I will let you know if I have any luck.
Because I kind of pull up the jet, kind of show, but I don't really want to go around pulling this.
No, it seems every time you start to fix, something else beats you up.
Why the fuck do I have to be a punching bag?
Well, you tend to throw yourself into these situations, you know. If you just fucked off like Moses, then you'd probably be alright.
Yeah.
You did say it was your job.
Yeah. I need a word.
Sorry, not surprised.
He and I need a word, and probably best if you're around for that.
Alright.
Because I know you said you're not a mother, but the presence of someone with a cool disposition, they'll hopefully temper.
Yes, I can understand why that might help. I also need to speak to Benjamin.
Do you know of anything else he's been keeping from me?
Moses? Not really. As far as I know, he's been locked up in Sabbat HQ for, well, since the last time he lied to you, probably.
Lied for a while.
But what concerns me is, well, do you think Benjamin has been acting a little strange lately?
Yeah, most definitely.
I'm worried about him. He has saved our lives in the past.
Yeah.
And despite we might tease him a little much, he is useful and he has been an asset to our group.
Yeah,
I want to make sure he is all right. If possible, I need you to help me convince him to part with a very small quantity of his blood just so I can make sure that nothing is messing with him, similar to, well, the attempted messing with you, obviously. I know you're not all comfortable around these sorts of rituals, but it's the easiest way to make sure that, he's safe.
One thing I've been thinking is, in a way, he's like Xander.
Wait. What are we talking here? Xander from...
Buffy.
He is?
Well, yes, he's useful in his own way, but not that you would seem to see on the surface.
I mean, he's less of an irritating dick than Xander. That's being a bit mean to Benjamin, really. Come on.
Yeah. And again, in in our own way, we've got our similarities to the Scoobies.
Do we?
Yeah, in a way.
I mean, it's incredibly entertaining, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it
I think we're a little bit more responsible. Anyway, we're getting off track. Will you help me make sure that he is in an alright condition?
I'll do
Your
that.
powers of persuasion are legendary, after all.
And I'd be more like to scare the shit out of him to do it, to be honest.
If
Especially
that's
how
what
I-
you have to do, I will
Yeah.
accept that as assistance.
And if you could, of course, look into both of those.
Yes,
'cause-
I will. Armed with knowledge is our best state right now.
Yeah, and it's what happens when they go in unprepared.
Of course. I suppose all there is now is to wait until they get back.
Meanwhile, you've been dropped off at your condo. We'll jump back to you in a moment. You've been making your way straight back towards.
I'm going to send Jim a message saying, on my way back now.
I'm gonna be taking Alice upstairs, so you can call if you want.
Okay, so I will phone Jim.
Yeah. So, going upstairs with Moses. Between the two of you, pretty much carrying Alice. She can't support her own weight.
Okay.
Well, in her current self-alert kind of state, she can't support her own weight. In a frenzy state, she was a bit more successful. You're not sure the trade was worth it. But you're carrying her upstairs. Fortunately, you managed to get her upstairs with nobody viewing, and get back to your condo. Over to you.
I get you in the living room.
Yep.
You want to make a call? I take Alice into one of the blacked out rooms, where I intend her to stay, but I just close the door, and I try to talk to her. If she doesn't talk, I just sit there, hold her hand until she gives me anything, any
Doesn't
sign.
say a word.
Can you hear me? Will you please listen to me and stay here for today? I'll make sure you're fed. You took care of me when I got shoveled. Let me take care of you. Please.
Doesn't say anything.
You stay there a little longer to see anything.
She just stares at you. Unseeing.
After a little while, not too long, after a couple of minutes, I make preparations for her to be safe, locked in, turn on all the security measures of the condo. And I tell her, I will be back. Don't go anywhere, please. What I do is I lock her in,
You're locking her in.
basically. Not
What,
like-
this room?
No, the flat.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is lock her in. I'm gonna be having the surveillance system and everything. And I just, after he has had his conversation and we leave, my plan is to turn on the alarm and having it connect to a pager. So if any window or door or whatever is open, I immediately get a page. Because I want, well, I want to have that conversation with Benjamin, so he's gonna have a few minutes of privacy, so if he wants to have a phone call while I stay with Alice.
Okay.
So I'll phone Jim. If he answers.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
Al.
I just wanted to let you know that that call you gave us was very timely, and that things seem to be in order now, and I'm going to be coming back. Are you still at home?
I'm still there. Let Moses know that that is his payment for the door.
I'm not sure that's how it works, but I can tell him that.
Yeah, I'm not one to... I don't really have the capability to fix.
Well, I thought that was the whole point, that you were going to borrow the money from me. We had that discussion a while ago. Haven't you sorted this out yet? Did you not arrange it?
I suggest you kind of come see the condition I'm in at the moment before you.
No, but this was a while ago. I mean, this was before the
Katia
gallery.
wants a word with you.
Can you hear me? Is the line bad? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right, okay.
Katia wants a word with you as well.
Katia wants to work. Well,
Yes.
is she with you? Because I'm coming back now. I can talk to you in person.
Yeah, we're
But she wants to talk to me now.
when you're here.
When I come back. All right. Now I think it is a bad line. All right, good. I'll on my way, and I will speak to you. But I just thought you'd be. Oh, bye. I think he hung up on me.
That's karma from the last session.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah. So many hurt feelings.
It was when I come out of the room. It's like, quick question, Ben. That thing that Katia and you do when you get I mind trick people.
Yes, that's what I was going to try and do with Susan, but it's too late now. It has to be in the moment.
Is that some sort of mind control?
Well, I suppose so.
So you make them forget what happened?
Yes. It's like, I suppose, the best I understand it, it's like it sort of makes everything a bit hazy for that, for the last few moments, really.
Just a few moments?
Well, a few minutes. I mean, it's not exact. It's not an exact science.
Can it be done for a few days? Something that happened a few days back?
I can't.
Who can?
I don't know, but I mean, well, I imagine Edmund could, because he can do anything. But I mean, I'm given to understand it is capable to do a lot more than I can. But in terms of making people actually forget about things in the longer term, that's well beyond me. Why were you thinking about Susan?
Get ready a burner. Speed dial my own number. And I have it in mind. Give this to Edmund.
All right.
With my regards.
I will.
Ask him if he can do such a thing. Not for Susan. And if not, who could?
All right.
Just out of curiosity, tell him that
all right.
I would be very grateful.
I'll ask him.
I'm not going. I'm staying here.
What? You're staying. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to the crossed hands and see what Jim wanted, and apparently Katia wants to talk to me as well. I think she's around. So before, as I'm going, just one more thing. What was going on? What was all that? I mean, why was Alice attacking Susan, and or was she attacking Lucy? What was going on there?
She was also captured by the Sabbat.
And they did that to her? I mean...
They tortured her, yes, as they did me, but I think she got the worst end of the stick. I just got staked several times, been questioned.
They're monsters.
Yes.
What, well, I don't really know, Alice, but if there's anything you need...
I need you to find out if Jim knows where my motorcycle is.
Yeah, I can do that.
If Edmund knows how to help fix memories, I want.
Yes, I can ask him. I just, like I say, I don't know how he's going to be right now. I don't know if you necessarily want his help in this moment.
And I want you to send a message to the constable.
To the constable. I don't have any direct means to communicate with her.
Church.
You want me to go back to the church and what do you
see
want?
if she's there.
And
I'll give you a letter. Just give me a second so I'll pen it.
All right. Is it all right if I go to the cross hands first?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as the constable receives it by tomorrow.
Oh, fine. Yes, I can. I'll deliver that. That's fine.
I'll basically write a quick letter to the constable, which I'll write and send you because I'm going to put it on an envelope, which I am going to wet my hand on the tap and seal because I don't leak. So it's basically I'm just gonna enclose it, you know.
Okay.
But it's gonna be in a sealed envelope. And don't tell the rest I'm here.
Don't tell the rest of the
Don't tell
coterie.
absolutely anyone.
Don't tell them that you're here.
No one.
Oh. So let me get this straight. I'm not to tell anyone about you being here and you want me to deliver a letter. Am I allowed to tell people about the letter? No? Fine.
It's to the constable.
Yes, no, that's right. No, it all sounds fine.
Sure,
it's fine.
I mean, I'm sure the constable will not mind
No, it's probably...
having other people know that her correspondence is being discussed.
Oh, no, I won't upset the constable. I'll deliver the letter. No, it's fine. I'll do it.
Thank you very much. You're a good friend.
Oh, well, I'm trying to be.
If you need anything... And I just ring him from my burner. This is the phone that I'm going to be using.
All right.
Only you and Katia have this number.
Only me and Katia. All right.
Keep it that way.
This all feels very complicated.
No,
all right.
Imagine we are in war times, which is
we are,
effectively
I
what we are.
suppose.
Exactly. Would you like people to know where you are?
No.
Only close friends.
Yes, actually, I do have the urge for less people to know where I am. Yes, I understand that. All right, I'll take the letter. I will. Oh, there were lots of things. I'll deliver this by tomorrow. I will. When I see Edmund next, I'll ask him. And was there something else?
The letter.
The letter. The request to Edmund.
And my motorcycle.
Oh, your motorcycle. I thought there was a third thing. Your motorcycle. Hypothetically speaking, if Jim was to get your motorcycle back to you, would that make you feel better about the door situation?
No.
Oh. All right. Well, good luck with everything. And are you going to see Lucy soon?
That's what I'm going to be trying to arrange.
Good. Because I rather promised her that you would.
Yes, and you did right.
Okay, good. Right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay. So you're running behind, you're heading off to the crossdance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whilst we're waiting for Ben, I've just pinged off a text to Sabine saying it has been confirmed.
Awesome. There's no response. Okay. So before we resume, guys, we're going to take a quick break.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pass you over to the players, and then we'll be back in a short while.
Okay, so can you get through there? Okay. All right. Yes.
You break in half because my hands are all gooey.
It is time for the relationship map.
Okay. I think the relationship map is over to you.
Yeah, relationship map this week only has one addition, a mortal. Susan Crown, Lucy's aunt and guardian, who's linked now to Moses down here in the mortal section, so next to Lucy. There have been some removals and not major changes. Basically, some people left this board and went to...
Quick transition.
The Board of the Dead.
Okay. So with the Board of the Dead, before we get to the actual dead folk, let's go to the not cool section. Because whilst we found the Sabbat called Alexander, the one with the one eye that's a bit spooky,
Where is Vehement kind of guy?
the where is Vehement kind of guy, chained up, he's not actually dead yet. He's just in torpor. But he is most definitely not cool. So he's out of play and he is currently down there. And then, as I very slowly talk about what we're going to talk about on the Board of the Dead, hopefully Phil, like some kind of avenging angel, will swoop in to do the next bit. Okay, I'm still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant timing.
So as there's this very, very long string connected to Michael Chase, but also it's also connected to Alicia, because as they together ripped him apart, ripped his head off, made a wish. What do you want to call it? Yeah, took Michael Chase apart. Yeah, he's definitely gone now. Yeah, so that's what that one connecting. So that's a double kill.
Yeah, our first combo kill of the Chronicle. But Michael Chase was not the only person to meet final death, because Veman / Edmund / Vedmund, whatever you want to call him these days, has been busy. And not only was he putting Alexander into torpor, but he was also getting rid of our 3 Sabbat Nosferatu and beheading them. So they have been on there, which basically puts him well in the lead on the kill board. Even Alicia is struggling to keep up with the sheer body count.
The ancient Sabbat.
Yeah, with the ancient.
What was it? 1 little, 2 little, 3 little dead Nossies.
I mean, there are some arguments, I believe, that say we should be scoring them separately, like pre-Vehement shenanigans and post-Vehement, but I'm a purist. I think they're all kind of one thing. It all
They are
counts.
what they are now.
So they're currently in the lead. And that, I think, is it for the Board of the Dead.
At least until Benjamin accepts that his sire is gone.
Yeah. So that's it for boards. Oh, talking snake. That's it for boards.
Remember, #Malop, Moses Amazing List of Places. If you've already done it, I don't mind if you do it again. But I'm compiling everything, so at the end of book 3, I'm gonna be doing the whole thing, like every place where everybody was kind enough to let us know where they were watching us from. Thank you very much. You're the reason we do this. I will never get tired of saying that. Malop, #Malop.
So, are there any questions from chat this week, Mitch?
There are a few questions.
A few.
That masters everything.
So I think we might have answered this one before, but Cresto asks what you think about the Bloodlines 2 announcement.
Ooh. Anyone before Tidus comes in?
I am actually hyped. I love Bloodlines, and Bloodlines 2 is like, I'm hyped. I'm actually looking forward to it. And it's been enough of a teaser. They have not been revealing a lot of stuff, so I like it. And if they have, don't tell me. No spoilers.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I've played the original, so tentatively excited to see how it's going to turn out. I do play quite a lot of games. Not as many as I did, but I will definitely play this one. Because everyone wants single-player story mode games these days, guys. No more battle royales.
Well, I haven't actually played the first Bloodlines. I have it. I haven't managed to start playing yet, but I'm getting the sense. I'm getting the sense that people might want to see me play it at some point.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah.
If that's what the Disaster Schools want, then I'm sure we can potentially arrange
They would
that.
say no to the extra content.
And see me going, what the hell am I doing? As I get entirely.
Right click.
Especially if you play as Jim and just like rip
create
everything
Jim.
apart, and then the instant Masquerade breach goes.
And then try and play as the others. Yeah, if the disaster,
It'll be content appropriate, yeah.
If that's what the ghouls call for, I'm sure we might be able to figure out something.
Tidus?
Bloodlines is my favourite game of all time. I am very excited for number 2. I have been for a long time, holding out the hope that it'd come back. I am unwilling to accept the possibility that Bloodlines 2 could be crap. So I am looking forward to it. I am actually looking forward to it. It does look really good. Yeah, very excited for it. Can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait.
Any other?
Yep. So while we've got Tidus up, I guess we'll ask Super Rat Lord.
Yes.
Who did that top picture?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way. That was awesome.
What is the worst position you've been put in as an ST?
Oh God. The worst.
See the wheels turning.
Or GM or DM, I guess.
The worst position. Christ.
Should I come back to you?
Yeah, come back to that one. I'll have to have a think.
Okay.
I will answer it. I'll have to have a
question
think.
from Super Arlo for you guys then. What is your preferred sect?
Oh God.
Oh damn.
Give it to Rachel and be done with it, shall we?
Prepare for trouble. I mean, I think everyone expects me to say Sabat, don't
Yes.
they?
Yes.
Because you're going to.
Yes.
It's just the way your face lights up.
yes, I do love the Sabat, but I also kind of like the Anarchs. I feel like they're very overlooked, and I really like what V5 has done. It's made them a much bigger powerhouse, and I think that's quite exciting. And yeah, they can be very fun, especially if you're playing a Kami game and you just want to like stir the pot a bit. But yeah, Sabat are very therapeutic to play, it can be argued.
I actually was gonna say, like, I like the Anarchs, especially the spin they've given it on 5th edition, but in previous editions as well. The Anarchs have the best of both worlds. Like, they can choose to follow certain rules. So if you have the chance of playing in an Anarch state, the free mobility amongst other Anarch states, and just the only problem is that you have to remember which are the rules this particular Baron or Lord or Overlord or however they want to call themselves is following. But it is filled with different constraints. Camarilla games are absolutely super fun because they are not the good guys. They are the least sadistic bad guys after fashion. So it's not necessarily super true, but Anarch games are super fun in my opinion.
A lot of them think they're doing what's best.
Yeah, which is like, well, how do you call it when you like self-fooling? They fool them. That one, self-delusion.
So I'm not super clued up about some of the non-Kami sects, but I suspect in some ways the Camarilla get the worst of most worlds. And I think that's why they're my favourite. Because I think there's a lot of fun in having having the constraints of your elders and the rules, but also not necessarily the support. So yeah, I'm probably a Kami boy, really.
And back to me, the one who is letting as it goes. Well, honestly, from what I've seen, I've seen very, very, very little of the Sabat stuff. So I couldn't really bring the Sabat into my equation because I just don't know enough about him. But from what I hear, they could be very fun to play from someone. And again, after reading as much as I have about the Camarilla and the Anarchs, and we're playing Camis, but I certainly would be curious to see what would happen if things changed and that we became Anarchs. I think that might become very interesting.
You gotta screw up enough.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to say your favourite?
Camarilla.
Yes.
Camarilla. Of course, that's the Camarilla.
Have you thought about?
I have, yeah. So, the question, if you'd like to phrase it for me again, I think I've answered it.
So, what's the worst position you've been
Okay,
put in?
there was a D&D game I ran, and it was my first attempt to do a more sandbox game, which is the method I've largely picked for 90% of my games. And the first time I did it, and the players realised that they could do sandbox, I had 5 different players at different ends of the map trying to achieve goals simultaneously, when 3 of them were involved in conflicts which were realm spanning. This is more my fault than anyone else's, clearly. But yeah, so there was a lot of jumping back and forth, and that was just difficult to manage because I was still getting used to how to do the kind of sandbox thing.
I think every DM goes through that.
Yeah, I think it was like, fuck. Yeah, I'd say that's largely about it. I think I've refined it a bit better now, maybe. You guys may disagree. But yeah, I'm not quite as all over the place anymore.
Cool.
Any more questions?
Huh?
Any more questions?
Do you want?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Do it.
Oh, let's do it.
Do it.
Now we've got time. Go on.
Good,
Okay,
good.
alright, so one from the nerdy birdie. What is your favorite drink?
Non-blood.
Rum. Especially talking thing.
What?
Oh, okay. So rum, aged,
Hide the rum.
at least, well, anywhere from 2 to 7 years in a barrel. My favorites would be either Diplomatico Aniversario or 1796 Santa Teresa. Those are Venezuelan rums. One of them won like gold medal rum of the year like 2 years in a row. Or Carúpano Legendario. Any rum. But the good ones, the ones you drink straight, or rum and tonic.
I used to know a Cornish rum smuggler.
I'm not going to talk about shady businesses.
He's involved in all of them.
For me, I like apricot brandy.
So for some reason this feels like an alcoholic question.
It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
But I'm going to answer it as if it was, because that's probably more interesting. So generally speaking, any alcoholic drink that doesn't really taste like an alcoholic drink
Yes,
particularly.
you like
Things
brandy.
like Pimm's, Bailey's, vanilla vodka. Any sort of things that taste a bit like kiddie drinks for grown-ups,
I
I'm
can
down.
give you some good, really sweet cocktail recipes.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'll get drunk very fast.
Piña colada.
Very happy. It's all good.
Pina colada, it's always good.
Well, so far in life, as this debate, as a couple people who are one person who's come in the chat knows, I have currently never found an alcohol that I like. I've had to try a variety when people go, you must like this, you must like this, you must like this. Nope. And I have done before. Well, I've got an instant reaction to brandy, which I can do to people's great amusement and to my detriment. Yeah, it's not fun for me. But yeah, I think at some point I might find alcohol that I like. But kind of my go-to drink is water, because.
Oh yeah, I have a little addendum. Whilst cocktails are great, kids' cocktails are even better. The ones that are literally just lemonade with like fruit syrup this deep in the bottom. Now that is what I like best. That's what I have whenever I go on holiday and just get really sugar high.
Are we talking about non-alcoholic drinks?
No, just favourite drinks in general. Anyway.
Chicha. That's Latino.
We might have to draw a line
This has
under this
become
question.
a podcast about.
Like, is this alcoholic, non-alcoholic, sweets?
Maybe we should do like a special drinks video.
I did some pina coladas not far.
They're gonna get me drunk, I think, is what they were offering.
No.
I'd say, I mean, I rarely drink, but when I do, any and all whiskies. I like whiskies a lot. I know that sounds like I'm contradicting myself. I don't drink a lot, but when I do, like recently, I'd say. No, I don't mean like I have recently. I mean like I like recently.
I think they've all sussed you here.
Jim Beam's Red Stag. Jim Beam's Red Stag is very nice.
After that interlude.
So, we're back. We are back. I'm not going to wave. I do it every week. I'm not doing it anymore.
Then we'll wave.
Yeah, you lot wave. Make me feel less like... So, let's go straight back into things then, guys. Moses, you've remained behind.
Oh yeah.
You've been making your return back towards the crossstands, and you guys, is there anything you wanted to discuss during the time that Benjamin's travelling?
I don't think I've really got much to add. I'll probably just sit on the roof and enjoy the view for a little bit.
I think we're probably sort of trading small talk about Buffy. Things I think Kath's
I'm
just
probably slightly surprised he's actually watched Buffy.
And but I just still go on about that whole just comparing each of us to each of the corner of the Scooby Gang, really. In our own way.
You still hurt about being Xander?
Yes.
Oh man.
That was a slight on your behalf.
That was harsh.
So you've been making your way back, and then before too long, as the hour goes later and there's less congestion going on your way. You manage to get back to the crossed hands, pull up in your usual spot, make your way over, unlock it with the keys, and step inside.
There he is.
Oh.
Oh, we probably would have told him on the roof.
Okay, if they told me they're on the roof, I'll go up to the roof.
So yeah, as I say, the comparison, you're much like Nicholas Willer, and again.
I think that's quite generous actually.
Yeah, well, magic is.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my! What happened to you?
It's better. I made it better than it was.
Yeah.
How?
Well, before, he looked a bit like he was an extra in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, what happened to you, Jim? And why is there a thing growing out like that?
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Is this like this thing you do with your claws? With your fingers?
It's like that, but a malfunction.
Yeah.
Oh, so it can go wrong.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway.
no! Can you not put it back?
It will, won't it?
I think in time it'll go.
It'll be fine.
Oh.
Hopefully a few days. So
And what about the rest of you? What happened?
I got beat to shit.
By who?
Well, I ended up with a car on top of me. That apparently.
You
But
were beaten up
everything's
by
fine.
a car.
Everything's fine.
Yeah,
Everything's fine.
I made sure it's fine.
yeah,
There's no imminent danger of other kinds.
All right, because
How are you?
that's a very good question. There's a very comprehensive answer. I'll build up to it. Just before we get to me, how are you? You seemed to, on the phone, you suggested that there was an imminent, no, it wasn't bad now, but it was going to get bad, and that's why I thought I should come back.
Certainly next few days, aid feeding is gonna be very useful because
Right.
I put up the shirt to show all the
Yes, it's
Oh.
not good.
yeah.
So you were beaten up by a car. You were in a car accident.
Yeah, you can say that.
Well, all right, but it was just an accident, and you walked away from it, and hopefully the person driving the
I think
car
it's all
walked away.
been covered up, right?
It's all been
All right,
Yes.
good. I think.
How was little Lucy and Alice?
Oh, well,
Lucy and Alice?
yes. Well, that's why I wasn't here earlier because.
I think you should sit down. Or shall we sit down downstairs?
I mean, I'm rather a fan of chairs, but if you want me to sit here on the roof, I can, I suppose.
I really thought you were going to bring some garden chairs up here by now.
Do you look like you have money to get garden chairs?
Surely you can just pluck them out of people's back gardens.
Oh no, I wouldn't advocate that.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I didn't think it was something you would do.
If you want to get me some
thank you.
garden chairs for us to be up here, because this is quite nice up here. Can't wait
Would
to
you?
just...
We can sit in your room if you'd prefer. If you'd be more comfortable.
yes. Why don't we go?
It sounds like you've been through a lot.
I have been through a lot.
Okay.
A
well,
lot,
let's.
a lot, and there is a lot that we need to talk about.
Yes. Let's sit down somewhere comfortable, and you can just tell us everything that's happened.
All right. I hope you're in a sitting and listening mood. There's quite
I
a lot. All right. Good.
I
Good.
can't really do much else at the moment.
I'll go into my room.
Okay, you all heading down?
Yep.
Head back down to your room. It's untouched.
So now, before we get into all of the me business, Moses had a message for you, Jim. He wants to know where his bike is.
That's probably one conversation that we'll need to have in person.
Oh dear,
Among
that doesn't
other
sound very
things.
positive.
Well,
I did try to, I think that the only real way to solve the door issue is for you to fix the door. And seeing as I've offered to help with that,
I pull out the wall. I got to pull it out with Casimir. Right, that's everything that all cats have. That's basically what I
no,
can't
I'm
fix-
fully aware that you have no money. That's why I offered to help you with it. That was the point. This was a while ago. You can't do it now, I suppose, because you can't really. I mean, you're a walking
There are
breach.
other ways to pay each other as well.
Yes, but there's only one real way to fix that door, and unless you have skills in that area,
which I do not.
right? Well, can I sit? I suppose I could handle it.
It would be very much obliged.
But this sort of thing, we have to take responsibility and do things about it. Otherwise that bad feeling isn't going to change. And right now there's a war on, and we can't afford to have bad feelings towards each other because there are lots of other people that we have to have bad feelings about.
You're right. There is a war on, so it's probably important that you tell us everything that's been happening.
Well, I wanted to thank you for getting me in touch with Sabine.
Oh, of course. Was she of any use? Any help?
Well, sort of.
She can be a little difficult to deal with.
No, she was very pleasant. I told her, well, as much as I could.
Right.
And she acted on it immediately, and she contacted the constable, and we went. I don't know if you know what I'm actually talking about.
No, please tell me as if I had no idea.
All right. Well, do you remember when you were doing whatever it is you were doing, and I called you, and I was trying to be cryptic. It was all a little bit fraught, but I was telling you about the fox hunters that I'd seen. And then I asked you I needed to speak with Sabine, because I knew where they were going to be. Right, all right, so this is a long, complicated story. I'll try and give you the quick version.
Okay.
But you know that I had to go and see Edmund, and that's why I couldn't come with you. Mm-hmm. Well, he isn't in a very good way.
Right.
And, well, when I say not in a very good way, I'm using understatement.
Okay.
And some very bad things happened. And around that time, he asked me to deliver a letter.
Okay.
And so I should say that when I spoke to him, when I saw him and things started to go bad, he had some issues remembering things, like who you are and who I am and where he was and what year it was and, well, who he was, everything. He couldn't remember anything. But then later, he recalled these 4 names and an address, and he told me to go and deliver the letter to this address. I couldn't read the letter. It was very specific, and I didn't read the letter, and I went there. But when I went there and I met these people, I recognised them because they were the people that killed Foggy in the.
I see.
In the tunnels.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake!
So they were very hostile at first, and then when they read the letter, they seemed to. I don't know if cheer up is appropriate, but they certainly became less immediately like they were going to destroy me.
I see.
And then they got me to take them to him, and that's when I went to Sabine. Well, that's when I called you, because obviously that's when I started to think that something was deeply, deeply wrong.
Right,
deeply
I see.
wrong.
Okay.
And I feel like Edmund's lost his way and he needs help, urgent help. Okay. And I thought that Sabine was his friend and that maybe she'd be able to help him, except that actually Sabine was quite clear that they're not really friends. But by then it was too late. I sort of told her anyway.
That's the issue with the elder vampires. They don't really attune to the concept of friends.
Right. Well, I wasn't really aware of that. But the thing is, you see, the story hasn't quite ended yet because we went looking for Edmund with the constable, and when we got there, Edmund wasn't there, but the heads of the Sabbat were there, the 3 heads. He'd cut their heads off.
Okay.
And then we found him, and then he took the constable and I to this other place where he'd got another Sabbat in torpor, like chained up on the ceiling. And in some ways that's good, isn't it? Because maybe he was just calling the Sabbat there to kill them.
I mean, one
in
Sabbat
revenge.
fewer is always a good
well,
thing.
4 in this case, 4.
Well,
and this Alexander, he was very important apparently. That's what they said. Apparently the constable recognised him. Anyway, that all sounds good, and I was thinking, well, maybe that's good, but it didn't feel good.
Okay.
It didn't feel good. It felt.
That's important. That's important.
I've never been. Well, I mean, I have been scared of Edmund before, but not like this. This was different.
All
this
right.
was different. This was. I could feel. Anyway. That's not the end of it. That's not the end of it. Because when the constable was gone and out of earshot, he turned to me and he said something, and I haven't had a chance to tell Sabine because I think Sabine should know, because I think Sabine, even though she couldn't do anything, I think she realises that something isn't right because I think she's very clever.
She is.
But he said to me, and he made sure the constable couldn't hear. He said,
"Roll intelligence plus resolve."
Oh, do I not want to? Am I feeling a resistance to saying this? Okay. Okay. 3.
Say it.
Huh?
Say it.
Okay. It's only a little bit of resistance then. He said that I wasn't ready for what was coming, and that by the time I realised it would be too late.
Oh,
All right. Okay. That's
And that
important. Thank you for telling me.
that was terrifying, and he's not. I don't know how to help him, Katia. I don't know how to help him because he's not himself and he's doing terrible things.
I understand.
And I don't think I like to think the constable realises, but I don't know if she does. I think Sabine realises, but I don't know if she can do anything.
Okay.
And he's on a. I think he's on a bad path.
All right. Well, before we can help Edmund,
Yes.
I think we need to help you. Like, you've been in contact with Sabat a lot over the last few days, from the sounds of it. At least in the vicinity of.
I mean, yes, I was quite. I was in a car with them.
Yes.
It
And
was
you
good.
said you had this feeling that what's going on is wrong when you were faced with the dead and captured Sabat. Yes.
No, it wasn't so much the dead Sabat that felt wrong. It was. So I can't remember if I told you, but there was a time when the werewolves were coming after us across the rooftops, and I kind of. It's hard to put into words, but I could feel the threat.
Is this another of your visions?
It wasn't a vision so much as a feeling, and it also helped me in the gallery actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I had it with Edmund. I've never had it with Edmund before.
Right.
I could feel it before I opened the door in the room he was in. It was like
I
like a
believe
chill went over me.
I believe you.
You believe me?
Yes, I always have.
Yes, you have.
Okay.
And I think something terrible is going to happen, but I don't know what to do. This
All right.
feels too
Just-
big for me.
It is big. It is big. But right now, we need to make sure that everyone in this coterie
Yes.
is safe. Now, this leads on to what I was actually going to talk to you about.
Right.
A few days ago,
Yes.
and this was more to do at the time with the issue of, which seems such a long time ago, the mage at the hospital, remember?
Well, I mean, I wasn't really involved, but I remember that something
you weren't
happened,
involved.
and that I was glad I wasn't
After
involved.
that happened, and regarding everything else that happened recently, I was concerned for all of us. And you weren't there at the time, but I performed a very quick ritual.
A ritual.
It's one of my clan's abilities.
A ritual like I don't know.
magic.
You draw things on the floor.
Oh no,
sort of
not
ritual.
like that. It's not like it is in the movies. It's very, very simple. All I did was I took a small sample of both Moses and Jim's blood,
Right.
and then a quick test, and basically it allows me to tell if anyone has been meddling with you through your blood. If anyone is insidiously has any sort of control over you.
Control over me.
Control or influence, essentially. I've been worried what with the Sabbat activity and the mage who has been meddling with us. I wanted to make sure that everyone is safe. Now, Jim does have some small presence of external meddling.
He does.
Yes. However, we identified the nature it takes, and now
So what meddling has Jim had?
it's more that sometimes he isn't able to get sustenance from feeding.
But what people can? I mean, I don't understand how that works.
Neither am I fully. Basically, some very powerful supernatural creatures are able to influence us through our blood because the blood is so important to us as kindred.
So, do you know what did this to Jim?
Jim, I believe it was the mage.
Smiling man.
The smiling man.
Oh, is this because Jim gave his blood?
To pull
To-
That
Moses
was
out
my
of the
initial
there.
concern.
So what about? And then does that
Have
mean that
you-
Moses has got the same problem?
There are lots of ways it can get through to you. Moses was also affected by
Oh.
this.
Well, I suppose the moral of the story is you shouldn't give your blood to strange mages.
Well,
However,
trying to pull his ass out of there, so.
However, there are other ways people can influence your blood. It can be to do with what you consume. People can contaminate any blood that enters your system or any other substances that enter your system.
You mean like poison? Oh,
yes.
You mean so? Is this thing? I think that was a long time ago now, but I think I did once drink from someone who was drunk, and I felt a little bit drunk.
Yes, it's very similar to that.
Right, I understand that.
I understand if this makes you a bit uncomfortable, but I have already performed this on both of my coaching mates, and Jim can tell you it's fine. I want to essentially have your permission to make sure that you will be all right.
All right from what? But I don't understand, because I understand that they had given their blood to a wizard. I still feel silly saying that, but they gave blood to a wizard, and so you had to check.
Mage is a better term.
How about...
I mean, they all sound quite silly to me.
This needs to happen soon, so...
Yes.
How about...
This is somewhat the calm before the storm. Now, you've been in contact with Sabat more than any of us.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure that nothing has been...
Hypothetically speaking, what would I have had to have done to potentially... I mean, what needs to happen for me to be at risk?
Well, one surefire way is, have you consumed any substances, any blood that recently that you haven't been completely comfortable with?
Intelligence plus resolve.
1, 2, 2. I can't talk about it. Say no. No.
Does he look like he's being honest?
Right, well, I need 4 rolls. First of all, from you, I need manipulation plus subterfuge.
Okay.
And from you, in response, I'm going to need, I'll say...
Intelligence insight?
Yeah, intelligence plus insight.
Intelligence plus
insight.
I'm not hungry.
And this is a contested roll between the two. This is how well Katia's selling her story to you.
Okay.
You will get a +1 because Jim's been backing you
I'm
up.
gonna willpower that.
You will get a +1 as well because Jim's been backing you up.
Don't think I actually need to, but Katia doesn't know this.
I'm not going to willpower this.
Oh wow, that's 6 successes.
I've got 1.
Yeah. So she.
Happy critical or normal 6?
Just a happy 6.
I mean, why would Katia lie to you? I mean, and even Jim's. You know, the distrusting Jim.
Just so I'm clear, I'm not going to talk about this business, but I believe Katia.
Yeah, you believe Katia, and then.
But do I feel like I guess my question is...
There's no pause when you're like, no. Your immediate response is no.
No.
So I can let you roll to see if you get anything, but it's not like a kind of...
But like, it's true
like
that I don't really care either way.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, do I feel any resistance to the idea of letting her have my blood? And I've got 2 questions on this. One is on, obviously, the Sabat cocktail, and the other is on whether that influences things, and the other is in terms of advice I've been given in the past.
The Sabat cocktail wouldn't.
No.
In terms of advice in the past.
Because I'm trying to remember if I've been told, like, no, never, 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 ever, or whether it wasn't even brought up.
Well, by us?
No, by Edmund.
Oh.
Edmund in the good old days.
He didn't tell you nothing.
Well, that's the thing.
You don't know nothing. No, the extent of his involvement with blood was that it establishes a closer connection between you and someone else, because that's what he told you every time he fed you.
Yeah, it was to bring us closer together, wasn't it?
But he did say that the blood is power and the blood is truth. So.
But there's nothing there that would make me.
I mean, based on what Katia said, there's a certain level of this shit's powerful and you shouldn't just give it out willy-nilly. But
it's okay. So I'll say, all right. So you want my blood so you can do some magic on it.
It's a very small amount. I just want to check to see that nothing is meddling with you.
Right. Okay. And are there any other risks? Because obviously
there are none to you.
Well,
you're still uncomfortable with the idea of this, aren't you?
Well, generally speaking, I
mean, it's something you'd be uncomfortable with.
I've never really given my... I don't normally give my blood to other people. It just
as
seems...
much as I don't like the idea, how about I demonstrate first, then you can have another look to see if there's any more crap going through.
What you want me to?
Maybe what I'm suggesting is I'll go first.
Right. I mean, I'll need to take it back to where my equipment is. I don't have it with me here. I haven't been here for the last 24 hours.
Oh, you'll need your equipment for him anyway, so.
Yes.
All right. Well, so are you going to do that now?
Well,
I don't know. You seem to be implying this is urgent.
Well, the point is, we are in somewhat of a calm before the storm. Well, that's what it sounds like. I'd rather.
Well, it doesn't feel very calm.
Well, no, it doesn't. But think about it this way: if things do start going pear-shaped, there's going to be a lot of mistrust within fellow kindred. If we know certain people are absolutely clear and trustworthy, it's going to, well, it'll assure your safety a little bit more.
I think the thing that I want most of all is to help Edmund get back to himself again, and
I think what Katia's saying is if we can ensure that you're clear, then we know that we can back you to help Edmund.
When you say clear, what
We
do you
just
mean?
want to make sure that there is no Sabbat blood. Well, okay, you know how my clan has certain abilities with the blood.
Not really.
Well, it's the way our. So you have abilities. You can be extra stealthy. You can sense things. We both can do that.
Yes.
Well, my clan can do similar abilities, but we derive it from the blood. It's like we get insight from it.
All right.
Is that?
I think I was just wondering what you meant by clean. Do you mean morally clean?
No, not morally clean. It's
good.
if you've had any. It's more like a. Oh yes, it's like you said. It's like a poison almost.
It's like I'd say almost just a blood test. Did you ever give blood when you were kind?
It's like a supernatural blood test.
Yes, I think I might have done.
They test the blood before they goes into people.
Yes, I suppose so. It just I have the impression that now we are what we are. It's more significant than a blood test. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it cannot be used to hurt or control you in any way.
But I do.
Oh, she would have control of me, and she would probably take advantage of that.
I do believe you, Katia. I do believe you. And if you think it's important, then I suppose.
I just want to make sure that no one is suspicious of you with the amount of contact time you've had with Sabbat. You have to understand, most people in the city haven't even seen them in decades.
It was about, I don't know, an hour. Is that
That's quite a lot.
Right, all right.
We don't, well, the Elder Kindred might, but a lot of their abilities are, well, shrouded in mystery.
Does it help that the Sabbat I had contact with are all dead?
Probably helps that they're dead now, but these things.
I mean, I certainly feel better about it.
Yes,
from that
well,
point of view.
like I said, a few of Sabbat isn't going to hurt anyone.
I'm surprised I don't feel better, to be honest.
This is another reason I want to check. You have remarkable insight, and I've seen this before. Maybe you can already sense that something's wrong.
I do sense that something's wrong, and I'm worried that. I'm worried that the others, the elders, don't see it, and that warning that Edmund gave me, that threat, that's going to come to pass.
You said you wanted to maybe speak to Sabine. I can try and arrange that if you would like to talk to her.
I think so. I just to tell, because she was only there for the first bit, and I wanted to tell her about the second bit with just the constable.
You are beginning to get slowly, and then all at once, a very severe migraine.
Me?
Which is odd, because you don't have migraines anymore.
I'll say, I think it's all been such a time.
Tomorrow, I can try and arrange a meeting?
Yes, I suppose so. I might have to go and... I might need a bit of time.
Of course, if you need to think about...
it sounds like it's fine as an idea, and I would like to talk to Sabine. Oh, Jim, I meant to say to you... oh, by the way, he's got a scratch on his forehead. I meant to say to you, that training, it was very helpful. I was in a bit of a pickle, and I remembered what you told me, and that was... So thank you, I meant to say. That was good.
You're welcome.
But yes, I might just need... It has been... I've skipped on a few details, if I'm honest, because some very terrible things happened. No, I mean, not big... Well, sort of big. Horrible details. But I don't know. I don't know if you want to hear about all of that, really.
Alright, just understand it'll be easier for everyone to trust you 100% if we can just check.
What do you think? Do you think people won't trust me?
Yes, I think that's precisely what might happen. I don't want people to think ill of you.
So quiet.
I want to help if I can.
Yes, thank you.
The voice is quiet.
I think I just want a bit of time. Some quiet time. Now.
Alright.
Quiet time. And then we can talk maybe later tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. I won't be going anywhere.
All right. Thank you for listening. To everything.
Of course.
But yes, I don't know what to say really.
Think about it, but remember it's important.
Yes.
Where's he gone?
Where?
Sounds like it's echoing from about 12 to about 20 different voices right at the base of your ear.
Like. So did you hear something?
I guess I heard nothing.
I listen and kind of see the unseen.
I listen as well.
Yeah, listen.
You can hear anything?
Yes, I'm just going to have a bit of a. It's been a somewhat violent couple of nights, to be honest with you.
No shit.
I'll understand if you don't wish to see blood straight away. That would make sense.
I've seen plenty of blood lately.
Right.
You didn't hear anything?
What did you hear? Did you hear something?
I don't know. Maybe I thought I heard a voice, or maybe even a few voices. It's quite hard to make out.
What are they saying?
Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
Shh. No, I think I'm just tired. I think I'm just tired.
Okay. Well, please, if anything anything else you want to talk about, I'll just be upstairs.
All right. Thank you, Katia. And good luck, Jim. With all that. And thank you for calling so promptly. I dread to think what would have happened if we hadn't got there sooner.
One, both. Well, no, little girl would probably be dead.
Yes.
More than.
Well, it's been good to see you both.
Of course. Let us know if there's anything at all.
Oh
you
yes,
need.
I will.
And I'll make my way to the door, but just before I head out, just remember, we can't help Edmund until we've helped you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will head up to the
And
attic.
I'll kind of move out and go.
Grace is past.
So sorry. This is a Peter question, because I'm finding that hard to make out.
Good.
Okay, fine.
That's the whole point.
Good. Just checking.
Yeah, I'm gonna be moving. It says again. I'm moving with Katia. Going. Do you know how I just stay with you for now? I'd rather not be alone further.
Sure, do you want to just chill on the roof for a bit?
Yeah, sure. Be nice.
Alright.
Don't often get much social time, so guess it'd be nice.
I am worried about Benjamin.
Yeah.
So I'll have a listen. Now that they've gone, I'll have a listen. So are you?
The headache gets worse.
Oh. Is it just getting steadily worse?
Silence. Ripples in a pool. Where's he gone? New voice, not ours. Gone. Where's it come from? How'd you know? Why? Make it go. Make it go.
I'll have a sudden idea, sudden thought. I'll go to my because obviously Benjamin keeps quite nice records of everything. So I'll go to my phone records, and I'm going to look back in my phone records to the night that Jim and I had to deal with a car. I'm trying to think exactly when it was. It was books ago. And I phoned Kelly when Jim, because we had a conversation, it sparked a worry about Kelly, so I phoned her. I'm going to look, what I'm looking for is to see if that phone call exists in my phone records. As in, because you know, like in your bill, whether there's like a time of call, like duration of call, that kind of thing.
You look back on the time, you look back on the date, there is a telephone number on there.
What, that matches hers? And is there a thing which has a duration of call that I made? Because I was on the phone to her for about 5 minutes or so I'm trying to look, see if there is one that matches.
Not 5 minutes.
How long?
About 32
32 seconds or minutes?
minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna probably head towards the roof because I think Jim might be there.
Okay.
I'm probably just sat on the edge of the roof again.
Katia's just looking up at the sky with her hands behind her head.
Okay.
Peaceful up here. Decent change to so much shit to deal with.
So before you leap into that, Moses.
Yep.
With an unspeaking, unmoving Alice locked down. The room's not locked.
No, we're both, like, I put him in one of the blacked out rooms, probably mine, in a big bed, and I am sitting at the desk, just next to the bed, next to her, there if she needs me for anything. The house is locked and with an alarm and everything, but right now, like, I'm just sitting there in front of the computer with her and the bed and the guitar against the, like...
Alice hasn't moved. None of her injuries have healed. And most, it's taken you a few moments to like note this as you've been focusing largely on the extent of her injuries. But while she is just staring at you, with her head to one side, just staring at you as she's lying down, she is breathing. Which is odd, because there's no reason for her to do it in the current company. And it's not like she was doing it since you picked her up. She's been doing it since you got here. But other than that, there's no response from her. She's just staring at you.
She's been breathing since she's got here.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she was not
No.
before. I talked to her. Random stuff while I am surfing the internet. Now I'm gonna be taking my sweet long time to figure out who disappeared from the kindred of London, who has gone missing, or who has been declared dead after the events of the triple explosion. I want to know which shopping gallery or mall or whatever, and I want to see what the Shreknet is saying about Goldilocks in her domain. I want to know if it was in her domain and if she is okay, because I do remember asking her permission to go into her domain, me and my whole coterie, so we could address the problem with the thimblets that were in there.
Okay.
So I do recognize that the place of explosion as part of her domain. I just want to make sure that she's okay. I mean, she hates my guts, but then again, she hates everybody.
Yep.
So I wanna be doing some upkeep for all of these. Also, this is the perfect time to finally put on the like anything on the records that I had. Now that there's gonna be a lot of movement for like inheritance and things. Yes, it sounds morbid and disgusting and awful, but this is the time in which I take all the earthly possessions of Noam, Jonah Sullivan, and they are added as collateral for his partnership with Noah Miller, who's going to be taking care of all of that, and he's going to be, setting up shop here in the UK, as part of the investment firm. So I will be slowly working on my mask while I look for all the information I can.
If you're gonna be getting into information, it's probably not something you can really multitask through, especially if you're searching for information on Kindred this close after an attack. Given that the Nosferatu have been inactive during this, well, not inactive, but they've not been topside, you can't really rely on TrekNet for information until the Nosferatu hear it through the grapevine.
Yeah, come back and fill it up. No, I'm putting more of my fillers out there to fill in the gaps, but I would like to have some information.
Okay. We'll say intelligence plus technology. Specialty doesn't apply.
Got all those beautiful black dice.
And it was not long ago when my group of dice was completely different.
Yep.
And that is 2 successes. Not great.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Basic information about the explosions. Basically.
Okay, so
Goldilocks, and if she's okay. So if I manage to find at least one Nosferatu that might know about her, because it's not like she's unknown.
no, but it's more a case of trading information freely until everything's learned. Nosferatu don't really take on rumors and chuck them about. They
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be willing to trade information about what happened in the gallery. So it's like I have information in the gallery on the gallery. What do you got? Do you have anything on the shopping gallery, or like I have information from Edmund's gallery?
Well, all you've managed to get, based on the amount of time that you spent going back and forth and watching Alice, is that the Surrey Quays shopping centre was the one that exploded.
Surrey Quays.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna try and hook up to the Shragnet server, the Shragnet database, and start cross-referencing known locations, havens, or properties from Kindred with that area.
I mean, you can know rough domains, you wouldn't know havens.
Sorry?
You'd know rough domains, you wouldn't know havens.
Sorry, rough domains and properties.
Okay.
Like known things. Like, for example, someone owns the theater or has access to the theater, like Michael Chase used to have access to the theater. So those kinds of little tidbits of information that can be on the databases, but that are run. I know it's early stages for the databases, but they're being built there. And I'm gonna run an algorithm, just basically keep it on the background until I have a few matches to see who could have been affected, even if it's financially.
Is it too meta to remind us something Katia said a few days ago? Because it's been like 4 weeks.
Sure.
Sorry?
Katia was like really into the kind of the triangular nature of the explosions and what lay in the center of them.
Oh yeah. The thing is that I was being held captive by the Sabbath, so I don't know.
No, I asked you about this.
Yeah.
This was after that, because this was after you came back.
Ooh, yes. Okay, I'm gonna be running
It was
that.
like a month ago, so.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But in gameplay, it was like two days.
Yeah.
Like
You'll
last
have time
night.
enough to focus on one of these things.
On one of them,
Because a lot's been transpiring and these
I'm
aren't
gonna
exactly
go with
checks.
that, because if I find information on that, that's leverage, so I can get any Tremere use dominate on
Okay.
people.
So we'll say it'll be intelligence.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll say intelligence plus technology.
Okay.
I know they did crowd stories just how much time he's got in order to pour through everything.
3 successes again, a normal
Okay.
roll.
So
Nothing major.
there is something roughly at the center of where these 3 strikes were. Not dead center, but it's the only thing that strikes you as
Like, it's not the middle of a street.
no. It's not. It's not square. Smack down between the 3 points. But it's the only thing that you are immediately stricken as interesting, and that's Michael Chase's gallery.
You see what has going on around. Is there anything about Michael Chase's gallery that has surface?
It's one of the most popular things in London. Other than that,
Interesting. Well, I'm spending my time there. I maybe throw the odd message to Benjamin. It's like, let me know when you drop the letter to the constable. Also, where's my bike?
so you'd get that message. Are you doing anything else?
Right now, I'm trying to basically do upkeep with my online presence and my everything that is related. Like even if it's just checking that the stocks are like now that the explosions happen, I start like moving stocks here and there, so I don't lose more money.
Okay. Intelligence plus finance.
Haha!
And this is going to impact your end of book roll to see whether or not your resources stay up.
I spent a point of willpower. I already have 2 successes, but I want more.
Yep.
You have to listen.
It was the money,
Finances can go up as well as down, I guess.
Yeah.
In a sad world.
That is 2 successes because those 2 dice suck.
2 total?
2 total, yeah.
Yeah, because you need to do a check anyway to maintain them, but this would have... Are you doing anything else before we cut back to the others?
No, I'm talking to Alice. Just normally, it's like, can you believe this thing? Like, I might be losing a lot more money than I thought, or things like that. You know, stupid stuff. I'm just paying attention to her. Of course, if Sexy Pearl at any point is online, I want to see what she has to say about the last message I sent her yesterday when I was covering up all the...
Remind me?
Remember when I was covering up all the car chase, and then I sent her a message and she said, "You're an idiot"?
Mm-hmm.
That message, if she has had any information, for whenever is most convenient. I am just trying to get answers.
Okay. There would be a message in your inbox.
Okay, cool.
It simply says, if you want.
I do.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
I love you too. Winky face.
There is tapping, and what looks to be a message being typed, then deleted. Typed, then deleted.
Like she's
Type.
typing, not typing. She's typing,
Yeah.
not typing. Typing.
And then it simply says when.
Starting tomorrow at any day. Like I'm busy tonight, but starting tomorrow at any point.
I will ask.
Yeah. Make it at, her earliest convenience. Not.
Okay.
Also, besides the Nosferatu being safe, ish. Any news on the aftermath? Like, basically, I'm asking for a kind point of view. Like the police, what are they doing? Have we had to deal with potential breaches to the Masquerade because 10-year-old bodies were found on the rubble next to people that were just buried or whatever.
Typing, deleted. Typing, deleted. City active in managing breaches.
Cool. Let me know if you need something. If you need my help for anything. I can always amp up our servers. But I'm happy that Alice is here. And I talk to her. I hold her hand and I type with one hand.
Constantly staring at you, but doesn't say anything. No other response.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, you return to the roof. You have a message, but you've returned to the roof.
Okay. Hello again. I was wondering if I could maybe talk to maybe ask a small favour from you, Jim, or a question, and then I would like to talk to you about something, Katia, actually, but afterwards, I think.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So I'll take out my phone and go, one moment. I'll text back to Moses. He said he'd need to talk to you about that.
My bike better be in one piece.
Might be. Question is, who's riding it?
I'll say this might sound a bit odd, Jim, but do you remember there was that time when we were getting rid of a car?
Mm-hmm.
And we went on quite a long drive, and we had a conversation, and I was a little bit worried about, that these, I think it might have even been the Thin Bloods going after people that were close to us, and I worried that they might be going after someone close to me, and I made a phone call. I know it was a while ago and a lot's happened. Can you remember very roughly how long I was on the phone for?
I'll do it.
Well, he was on there for a while.
You're on there for a little while.
When you say a little while, do you mean 5-10 minutes, little while? Do you mean 20 minutes, little while? Do you mean an hour, little while? What sort of little while do you mean?
Say intelligence plus investigation.
Are you quite sure you're okay?
I'm not okay, Katia, at all. I'm trying to clarify something I'm confused
I
about.
got nada.
You can't remember.
Don't know anything about it, I can't.
All
Out with
right.
all the pain I'm going through at the moment. Yeah, I can't remember.
All right. I just need to make a very quick phone call, and then I'll be right with you. So I'm going to phone Kelly. I won't move super far away, but I'll move like that kind of like a discreet step, but not actually very far away.
Okay. Bzzzt. 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 Yes, Benjamin.
Oh, Kelly?
Yes, what can I do for you? I'm a bit busy.
Oh, I just wanted to check you were all right. I'll hurry over to Jim, and I'll put my finger to my lips, but I'll lean close and say, "How are you doing?" And I just want to make it so that if there's an answer, he might be able to hear the answer. Are you all right?
Yes, I'm busy at work at the moment.
All right. Yes, and I won't keep you then. But things going well?
Largely, not getting enough sleep, but other than that, how are you? Please tell me you're eating properly.
Yes, I'm eating fine. Maybe I'm eating too much, even you could say. I won't keep you. I just, I like to check in every so often and make sure you're all right.
Well, no. Hang on. Yes, can you just hold that, please? No, that. Okay. And then you hear sounds of her walking away, closing a door. Go on. You've got me on the phone for 5 minutes. What can I do? Talk to me, Ben.
No, I didn't need anything. It's just that there's been all these explosions and all of these kind of things in the news, and I thought I hadn't even checked in to make sure you were okay, and I just wanted to make sure that you were, that you were right, and that Richard was all right, and that the baby was all right. Is everyone okay?
Well, we're fine. We're fine. I mean, I was more concerned about you, but to be honest, you never answer your phone.
No, I'm so sorry. It's just I've been so busy, and I work strange hours, and I find the phone's very distracting when I'm painting.
Okay. Well, you need to make sure that you start answering your phone, please.
Yes, I will.
I mean, you give me enough stress, and I've got a baby to worry about.
Of course, I will.
On top of my job.
No, you're right. And I'm sorry I always call at the wrong hours. I can't always keep track of your shifts, that's all.
Well... Yes, I'm coming. You look after yourself.
I will.
I need to get going.
You too. You take care.
Right. And
all right.
Stop being a stranger. Call me.
Will do. Bye. I'll look at you. Did you hear that?
I heard that.
What did you hear?
She seems to be at work. What does she do?
Nope.
Huh. Oh. I didn't hear anything. It said, the number you've dialed has not been recognised. That's what I heard.
Thank you, Jim. I'm going to go and move to the edge of the roof and have a little look out over the view for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I am in no condition to fight.
There doesn't need to be any fighting.
But I sense one coming. Another one.
No. Just have to stay calm. There is no fighting going on here.
I hope not for at least a couple of weeks. It would be nice. In time. So so what were you hearing on the other end of that?
Nothing.
You were talking to Kelly.
Yes. It doesn't matter. It was an experiment. But actually, that helps me, Jim. Thank you. That helps me. I'll put the phone away.
Okay.
Edmund said a lot of very strange things to me, and I was trying to make sense of what he was telling me that was true and what he was telling me that wasn't. That's all.
I've offered you help.
Yes. You're going to need to take that help, Ben, because with that and what you've said and what's been going on recently, there's a shitstorm coming.
Yes, I think there is.
That's as bad as the gallery. We may not weather it individually.
Perhaps you should talk to someone who knows a lot more about this law than we do.
Again, as the same with us. Listen, no, in a way, being our own Scooby gang. The strength of them is that they're together.
He's been talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer all evening.
What's that?
Have you not watched it? It's a television series.
Seriously, when you were first turned, you didn't try and watch things to try and have an idea of what the hell happened to you?
You are joking.
You do know what happens with my clan, right?
Yes, your face doesn't go though, does it?
No, I know that. But I'm trying to get some general idea of what happened. You know, the Tsar leaves you alone?
Basically, he tried to educate himself through pop culture. At least you didn't do that.
That's some good
You
things
did.
out of it. Hey, your Tsar stayed with you. Mine did not.
Yes.
What the hell else should I have done?
I mean,
It's not exactly a book on how to be a vampire.
we're on a roof. Maybe keep your voice down.
How to be a fucking vampire. That better.
Do you want to talk to anyone?
Yes, I want to talk to you about something, Katia.
Please do.
It's a private matter.
All right. Would you like to go back down to your room?
Yes. Yes.
Right. After you.
So I'll go it down.
I will catch Jim's eye before I go down. Just kind of like. And then I will make my way with Benjamin to his room.
So when I'm in the room, do I still have a migraine, by the way? So how strong do you think Jim is?
Physically, mentally, socially.
I already know about 2 of those. I mean physically.
Physically, he is very strong. he has a lot of destructive power, although he lacks the kind of brute force that certain members of Moses and the Bruja clan possess. So you could say he's not in possession of all of such abilities. But he is physically most likely the most adept out of us.
Yes.
But that's fairly clear.
That wasn't what I wanted to talk to you about.
Alright,
I want to talk to you about ghouls.
I see. Ask away.
How do you safely make someone a ghoul?
Well, you have to part with a measure of your own vitae, and you have to feed it to the person you wish to turn into a ghoul.
And that's it?
Well, it changes them in certain ways. It's as if they get a free trial, if you like, of a kindred ability. Something that you, yourself, are adept at is passed on to your ghoul to some degree. They also do not age quite the same way as a regular human would. In short, they are certainly removed from, well, a life that they were familiar with. It's not the same as simply being human and looking up to a kindred. You are altered in many ways, and it is, well, they are unable to resist wishing to please their dormitor. It's, well, akin to slavery almost. It is abhorrent.
But you had a ghoul.
I did. Well, before Will was embraced, I was trying to find a way to break her out of being my ghoul. Unfortunately, the only real way to do that is to withhold vitae from them, and even then it's a gradual process, and it's like an addiction, but more powerful than any drug addiction you can imagine. I didn't fully understand this when I first ghouled her. When I did it, it was more a matter of impulse than anything else. I thought that what I was doing was a good thing. I thought I was saving her from a far worse fate, and I was arrogant, and I thought that I was helping her.
What did you think you were saving her from?
Well, she probably would have died if I had not. But
That's my situation. I want to stop someone dying, and I think this might be the best way.
from my experience, creating a ghoul does not prevent someone from dying. It only draws out the inevitable suffering prior to death. Will still died in the end.
Did she know about the masquerade
When she was a ghoul.
before?
Before she was ghouled or
Yes.
during? Before she was ghouled, no. She had no idea we even existed. I barely knew her when I saw her. She was overdosing at the time I found her. I just wanted to help. She was a student at the university I once attended. She was...
That man
Yes.
It was him.
Yeah, he is. He was a dealer she was in contact with before.
I'm sorry to bring this up.
It's alright. What's happened has happened now.
I think if I don't do this, then someone could die. But
It is your choice to make. You understand the likelihood is she will still die in the end.
we all die in the end.
We do, but she will die being bound to someone against her will and emotionally subservient against, well, her will, and it is a bit of a half-life, if you ask me.
So
On
you
the other
think-
hand, if you handle it better than I did, perhaps you can protect her for a time, and then whatever was putting her in danger before might pass. And at which point, if you can somehow break the addiction or distance yourself from her, it will wear off, but in which case she will still be a breach of the Masquerade. There is no get out of jail card once someone knows about us, unless you have a very powerful friend capable of rewriting the memories of a person.
And if I did this, it's just a case of giving them my blood. That's it.
Yes, that's essentially what it boils down to. It is the taste of kindred vitae is intoxicating. It's incredibly powerful. It's similar to if a kindred is to drink the vitae of another kindred, they are bound to them. And there is this emotional connection. Only because this has been administered to a mortal, the subservience is total. It can be obsession, it's addiction. In some ways, in the worst cases, it can even work against you if this...
I was told that drinking the blood of a kindred drew you closer to them.
That's a very romantic way to put it.
How would you put it?
I would say it binds you to them with these strings of... it's a very emotional connection. You are... everything in you wants to please that person, wants to uplift that person, wants to minimize their sorrows. But it is not of your own free will to the full extent. It is created by the power of their vitae inside you. It is quite, well, an insidious connection if abused, of which it often is.
And our blood, if a mortal drinks it, it is that way.
Yes.
What if we drink it?
As I say, it's very similar. The one who receives the blood is enamoured by the donor. There is this emotional connection. You want to please them. You want to minimize anything that inconveniences them. You believe their word to be true above all other truths, and you do anything to avoid displeasing them. But again, it comes from the vitae. It is not of your own volition. Many elders over the course of history have used it to abuse neonates, other younger kindred. It is how in the past kindred of historical importance have controlled vast numbers of less powerful kindred than they.
I think I understand. Thank you.
Of course.
Maybe about this ghouling business.
Yeah.
I don't know what is right to do, but I don't think they want to die.
No.
And I don't want to see them die. I don't see any other way.
It certainly buys time. When I had Will as my goal, as I say, I was looking into ways to separate her from me. Although I was fond of her, I was, but I knew it wasn't in her interest. If you can find someone or some method of rewriting memories, you can potentially do that and break away from this person whilst potentially having bought them enough time to survive. That's the only way I can see to get out of the situation. But I did not do it in time, and you have to be prepared for the fact that you might not either, and it might result in a fate far worse than the death they might originally have received.
Oh, woman.
As long as you both understand that fact, the choice is yours, and presumably theirs to some extent.
Yes. I don't want anyone else to know.
Of course I won't.
I don't want all of this. I don't want them connected to it.
It is
any more than it has to be.
It is a deeply personal matter, I understand.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think there are some things that I should tell you and Jim about Edmund.
Would you like me to retrieve Jim?
Yes.
Alright, I will go get him. And I will make my way back to the roof.
Okay. Before we continue this one, was there anything you wanted to do, or are you just spending the night with Alice?
I have been distressed enough.
Okay.
I think Moses and Alice deserve a little bit of a break after being captured and tortured.
Can we take this is?
Yeah. What I will try and take precautions is for waking up before her, and I will make my utmost effort to fall asleep after her. Like, she's in a weakened state, so I would assume she would be claimed by morning faster, and because I'm gonna try and help her either hunt or get her blood bags, animals, whatever, so she can feed and heal and restore herself.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be here, yeah. Just computer time as much as I can. I'll keep the whole night through. I don't mind. It's my happy moment. Let me like, I'm not hungry and Alice is alive, unliving. That she's, and Lucy's fine.
Okay.
Maybe send an email to Alan Burr.
Okay.
But as the moment I have the identity as Noah Miller, basically not an email to him but to his desk. I just the normal legal representation, so I can send the documentation to them, because I was under the impression that my former associate Jonah Sullivan had been in touch with you regarding some cases or matters, and that's it. Basic stuff that he can send to any of his, low-ranking barristers or whatever. It's just me, like, putting the assets of the firm or whatever in touch with them.
Okay.
So it's fairly simple stuff.
Cool. So, you've headed back upstairs.
Jim, he seems to want to share a little more with us.
Alright. Oh, I need to heal these fucking legs. Jesus Christ.
Slowly help Jim as we make our way back to.
Oh, no, do not alright. Yeah. Alright.
Is the migraine getting worse and worse and worse, or is it leveling
Steady.
out? Okay.
It's nasty, especially since you are now used to not having headaches.
Yeah.
But it's not getting worse. It's just
Oh, I'm going to heal that cut on my forehead, by the way.
cool.
And I'm not going to go hungry.
Nice.
Cool. It slides shut
Like a zipper.
like a zipper.
And I imagine we probably head in around
Yeah.
that point. All right, we're here.
Thank you.
Close the door behind us.
I know that I can be a lot of work sometimes.
No more than this one.
Very funny.
I don't think I told you, but it was that time with Thimble when I really realised that I wasn't human anymore. You know, with my thumb.
Yeah. I'm sorry I found that quite funny at the time. That wasn't very kind of me.
Because somehow, I don't know, seeing better or being quieter is somehow easier to explain.
Well, the useful things don't make you feel like some kind of monster, do they?
No, but they do make me feel different. This is difficult because even though I want to help Edmund, I still feel like I'm betraying him talking like this. I would advise that you not see him until he's better.
All right.
Fine by me.
Jim, you have claws sometimes,
When I want them, yes.
but if you didn't have claws, could you reach into a person and pull out a kidney or a heart with your bare hands?
I suppose that's possible.
Edmund can. Could you do it to your friend? A good friend you'd known for years? Without blinking, or we don't blink, or pausing. Could you do it without hesitation? Could you reach into their chest and pull out an organ, but in such a way that it wouldn't make them die? Can you do that? Can you?
When I move to kill someone, I do not go after people that I care for, and the times that I have to kill, I try and do as painlessly as possible. At least let them go quickly.
So you can't, or you won't.
I would not.
Edmund can, and he will, and he has. I want you to understand this because if he is still in this state, he can do anything. He can reach into your chest and he can pull out your heart. And he can do it even if you are a close friend that he has known for years.
Are you worried that he's going to do that to you?
I think if he heard me talking now, he would do it. Yes. He already knows I saw him with the constable.
Okay.
I think when I next see him, it will not go well.
I will ask again. Do you want us to help?
Yes. I want you to help him. I want him to be better again.
The easiest way I can help him is to know more about what's going on. And the way I can do that is with your blood.
I told Sabine what I knew about what he'd done, about what he drank, about everything he did.
What he drank?
Yes,
What did he drink?
a kindred,
I see.
but
just-
not like us.
Did he take all?
Well, he
Is it-
had to destroy them so the Sabbat couldn't get them.
Ben, your sire's vitae flows in your veins.
Yes.
It's possible I might be able to learn more about what's going on from that as well.
As much as the idea, as again, I don't like the idea. She's right.
And my own knowledge is limited. I do think if you did want to talk to Sabine, she would be able to help.
I did talk to Sabine, and she did try to help, and it failed.
I mean, in light of all of this, is there anything else you would want to discuss? If not, that's fine. But I would still appreciate it if I could run my tests.
All I can tell you is that Edmund has done great damage to the Sabbat and taken the revenge for what they did to his gallery. But I don't have any evidence beyond all of the things that he has done are only things that trouble me. They are not things that trouble the elders. They don't care about
You might
people.
have the evidence and you don't even know it.
What evidence?
The blood is everything. The blood carries truth.
Yes, I know that. It does carry truth.
You'll understand that I might be able to find out more.
What exactly do you learn? What will you learn from my blood?
I will know if any other factor has an influence over your vitae and if your blood is connected to anyone else. And if it is, who they are. If something is wrong with your sire, it might illuminate.
And will you know anything else?
I won't know. Well, it's not like I can read your past or anything like that through your blood. Any secrets you have would be safe.
Okay.
Is it alright?
If it might help Edmund, then yes.
To my mind, it's the only thing I can think of. Would you like me to take it now, or would you like to do this tomorrow night?
Tomorrow, I think. My head hurts.
Okay.
And don't you need to get these things, these tools, from somewhere?
I probably won't be able to return it tonight. It's better if I go back with it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, then.
Yes. Alright. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, well, we're your coterie and we will listen. And we will believe you.
Why do you think he said that? What is happening that I won't understand until it's too late? And why do I feel like it's bigger than me?
Well, we are neonates. It's always bigger than us.
But we do have one thing that I think elders might overlook. If we can rely on each other.
If you say Scooby Gang again.
No. If we can rely on each other, that gives us the strength that individually they don't have. But again,
Collectively, together, do you think we're strong enough to lift someone by their neck as if it were nothing?
Collectively?
Probably.
like
Because
given the right circumstances, I could probably do that.
You can do it.
Again.
You could pick me up by the neck and lift me one-handed as if it were nothing.
Let's not test this right now. He's not in
Nope.
very good condition.
No, but if you were healed, could you do that?
Quite probably.
Oh.
Moses
Again.
probably could as well, actually.
Again,
It's not unheard of.
as a coterie, surprisingly, we cover all bases.
Well, Edmund can do it.
It's not unusual for older kindred to know techniques that might otherwise seem strange to their usual bloodline. You can learn abilities that ordinarily your clan might not possess if you are able to sample blood of that clan line, or if you have a teacher in some cases. So it's not in itself something to be amazingly alarmed about. I mean, if I were to taste Jim's blood and he was to teach me, I could grow claws.
That would take a bit of time.
Oh yes, it would take time, but by then I would be older, but nowhere near as old necessarily as Edmund. But it's still possible.
And again, the opposite isn't effective. You were to drink from Katia, she might be able to help teach you some of your magic stuff.
That one is a bit more difficult.
Yes, it's an example.
In any case, if there is anything else, let us know. Otherwise, I suppose do your best to rest.
Yes. All right. I have to see him again soon.
All right.
I don't know what's going to happen when I do. If you can think of a way to help him before then, I'd be grateful.
All right. Well, the sooner I can take the sample back to where my equipment is, the sooner I'll be able to. Well, we can potentially help him.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yes.
And if Sabine is willing to talk, I'll
Of
talk
course.
with her.
First thing tomorrow night, we will get right to it.
Okay, I will leave them on the roof.
2 stains.
Okay.
I'm just gonna head back to my attic. And to myself, like, God, how is Benjamin harder to convince than Moses and flippin' Jim?
Hey, I needed to provide evidence that I didn't do what I said that I had done, but didn't do.
So, anything else that anyone needs to do before we bring this episode to a close?
I think just
Enjoying my happiness.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first session in a while that we have not had something awful discussed. Well, you guys have. Like, I have reasons to be thankful. Oh, well, that knows that I have written Venom.
Yeah.
But yes, like, everything can be done easily from the comfort of my condo while I tend to poor Alice and make sure everything's alright.
I'm just
And you guys?
I am
relaxing and waiting for time to heal.
Okay. Then I need roll from you two. Because we got pegged for not doing this on camera last time. So
God.
Okay.
There's one success right there.
2
2
successes.
successes.
Oh no, I only have the one. I only have the one success.
One's all you need.
It's because I pep talk you about the importance of being considerate when you
I climb to bed with Alice and I
that is
hold
why
her
I
and I
got
start
the
crying about
No, but that's why you didn't.
I tell her about the
Vanity
man I
hit.
killed. I killed someone, Alice, or whatever.
I might need to have a chat with you about how that all plays, obviously.
No worries.
I'll get your blood.
Pretty certain if Alice could slap you in her catatonic state, she would.
Yeah.
You might have to do it yourself.
At some point,
I will do it. I'll grab her face, her
doesn't give it
hand,
up
and
when
go
you-
like,
you're gonna
"Shut
have to
up,
pin him down."
Moses!" You know, and you're like, "No, you shut up. No, you."
Dear we.
It's just like she was awake.
Yeah.
So
Like I'm trying to see if all she needs is time to heal. If by the next night or two he's still catatonic, I'm gonna start freaking out Moses style.
Well,
Actually,
also-
Benjamin style.
Also,
I'm gonna take it to another.
Serious.
I'm gonna yes.
but also
I've
she
trained you
doesn't
well.
have
How do I?
have a tongue right now, which is probably why she won't talk to you guys.
She's not gonna talk because she's probably has no tongue, but still she could blink or react in this moment. Right now she's
blinking.
oh, that's good, and breathing.
From her good
I don't know why. I don't know why she's breathing.
Well, the empty socket's blinking as well.
Yeah.
Does that? What happens if you lose an eye? Does like it's still kind of? Sorry.
We'll have that conversation.
Technically, we still got 4 minutes, bitch. Exercising your power from over there behind the computer like a god.
What happened?
He can assume
He's trying to round us up, but we got 4 minutes, man. We got 4 minutes.
Yes.
I want my 4 minutes. 3 minutes now.
I took my first dose, I think, last session. And now
Actually,
I'm so proud of you.
thank you.
No.
By the end of this book, I will turn you against him.
He got stains because of touchstone-related things,
Touchdown.
not
Oh, of
because.
course, because wow, that's just a rough way to lose a touchstone, man.
It's complicated.
It's very complicated.
It is very complicated, but that's playing Malkavian.
Oh yeah, wait.
So
One of the many things I
Oh
did.
man, here's the.
I'm not. I know exactly what I'm doing at all times.
One of the things I did.
well,
Just keep it on top of things.
welcome. So, I think that's a.
Surreal
Done.
end to a session.
Well, we've got our minutes, man. I
Yeah.
like being.
Value for money and all that.
It is hard past
I am just enjoying that the episode did not end with either of us running or stress or.
True, nothing blew up.
Yes, see, they like our after talk. Thank you, Nerdy
Yeah.
Bird.
And this after talk is nice. It helps
I get
me.
a secret counter.
So, what do you guys really think of Mitch?
I get like a secret counter coterie mission every session.
Oh yeah, your secret missions are cool. I like them. I like the secret missions. And you're the one having them, not the Nosferatu, because we are loyal and honest.
You're loyal, but also you get dicked on by all of the other Nosferatu.
Don't listen.
The nice thing about being a Malkavian is you can give yourself secret missions.
Yeah, you give yourself. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's actually gonna beat the fuck. That's what I get.
Give it time.
I'm so relaxed, like literally. Thanks.
Yeah.
Nothing blew up. Or no one was staked, or in torpor, or at the end of the session.
Don't
Yeah,
challenge
At the
him.
end of the session.
You just had a bit of casual murder. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing bad
Stanley
happened.
with a stake and just
I am-
stabs him in the chest.
You just
yeah.
killed this 40-year-old pensioner, apparently.
Hey, man, I upped him by 10 years.
Oh, sorry, 50-year-old pensioner. Early retirement.
Oh,
It's like this is like the Hollywood version of Blood on the Thames. Nobody is below like 35, and everyone looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even the
we're not doing
Nosferatu.
that. Oh, okay. I need to take that.
That does lead me on to like who would you have playing you in the
hey!
film versions?
Hey,
Hey-
should we
hey
say that
to,
for next week's
yeah, yeah.
interlude?
I was saying, hey to gaming FTL who's raiding with a party of 47
wow.
raiders!
Wow.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Keep playing. Keep going.
You arrived just in time to see us say goodbye and now hello.
Like the raid arrives and there's just nothing, just tumbleweed. Like we are in the right place, yeah. There is a stream happening here.
I need to find social media and shit now.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the raid, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Mitch, be entertaining.
Because some of us are 40-year-old pensioners, we were actually about to go to bed, but thank you for coming.
You're not going to let that drop, are you?
No.
As soon as the wound heals, I'll stop saying anything.
Roll a die.
In 2027, he will let that.
Oh, scary how he flips like that, isn't it?
Oh, you're like
Channeling my Edmund.
Channel your inner Edmund.
I like
See,
that.
this is why you need to be friends with me. I'm always nice. I never flip.
That's
Never
well, not
flips,
since
just
book one.
takes your blood and
Not since book one.
And does weird rituals with
That was
it.
compulsion.
he's not going to forget that. Even with the receipt handed.
Hey,
Now,
well, you're
out
all
of
but you're just
interest-
going to give me another bit of blood and there'll be nothing.
Out of interest, has Katia stumped up the money for the window repair yet?
Probably. I have an allowance.
I'm just waiting for the ST to confirm that you can actually afford a window of my calendar.
Excalibur, what have they done?
Stained glass, right?
Stained glass is appropriate.
Yes.
Cruel but cool. Cruel but cool.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining us, and thank you very much for
Thank you
raiding.
very much for the raid.
It is awesome. Apologies, it's right at the end of the
Yeah.
stream. But thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we've now officially gone past half past.
Yeah.
Value for money.
Yeah.
Everybody that's just joined, come back next week.
Please come back next week.
Next week,
27.
7 p.m.
UK time.
UK time.
Every Monday. Right, thank you very much, guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Blood on the Thames. If you'd like to keep up with all the latest news, follow us on Twitter and Facebook and ShrekNet, the links to which are down below. And remember, if you want to join us live, be sure to tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. on Twitch. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.